Well, hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from somewhere beyond the beyond. Today's show is a special conclusion to what is otherwise known as the Houston Astros horror show 4-part series. Part 1, 2, and 3 were absolutely scary, were they not? Today, we'll find out in Part 4 if the ending lives up to the rest of the series. All right. Hey, Crispy. Thank you very much, sir. All of the music that I listen to right now and play on my channel, I've produced myself. Now, the lyrics I write. I am a writer, so lyrics are my strong suit. Writing songs, writing stories, novels, etc. I can do it. But when it comes to actually producing music, I need some help. So Judy's right. I use a combination of things, but I use an AI music tool. And I also do a little bit of my own editing, depending on how the song comes out. And I usually remake the song many, many times before I get exactly what I want. Or close to what I want, close enough. And then that's the one I stick with. Sometimes I have to redo the song like 10 times before I get it just right. And sometimes many versions of the song are really, really good. So sometimes I'll have like 5 or 6 versions of the same exact song. Same lyrics, completely different styles and things like that. It's really awesome. But the song that I use right now for my intro is called I Am. And I think it is a powerful song. It was made to be powerful. Actually, it's made to be, in my opinion, the most powerful possible song that you could ever sing or listen to ever, because it is directly connected to God. You know, if you read in the Bible, it talks about. I'm not speaking from a religious point of view. To me, this is just a spiritual point of view. But in the Bible, it talks about God says, you know, before this, before that, I am. So you could say yesterday, today, tomorrow, God is I am. I am. And I connect the two together. I connect that together with myself, with God, with you, with us. So the whole song is, I am this, you are that, we are this. And then it connects it all to God. I think it's a very powerful song. It's 100% pure positive. There's nothing in there. It never says, I'm not this, I'm not that. That's actually negative comment. It's just, I am this, I am that. You are this, you are that. We are this, we are that. It's great stuff. The one that I use the most right now is called Songer. If you guys are interested in using it, I'll send you a link. You might be able to get some free credits or something. I'll get a link later and give it to you. But like I said, I go through many iterations of each song before I get what I want. And when I finally get close to what I want, that's when I commit to the song, and then I do some editing on my own computer to make it better. Now there are times where the result is just amazing, and I love it just the way it is. And the only thing I want to do is extend it. I just want it to be longer. So sometimes I can go in and edit, and I can add the chorus a second time. And if I had the money, which right now I don't really have the money to do it, but whenever I do have the money, I know a couple of guys who've done some work for me before, and they are great musicians. They're able to take what I produce and add things to it. So I can tell them, but at this part right here, there's a very small short break, maybe like 5 seconds before it goes into the next verse. But I really want there to be like a music break there. And they can actually make that for me. And they'll take the original track and they'll do that and even mix it for me. And it is seamless. They are so good at what they do. That's what I wish I could do. But like I said, I'm not a musician. I'm a writer. And my goal is to get my book published and then make it into a film. My doctor says that I'm going to be gone in less than a year. Literally, like he told me over a year ago. It's been, let's see, April, May, June, July, almost August now. So almost a year and 4 months ago, he told me I had 2 years to live. He thought 1 to 2 years. So right now I'm in territory that he says I should be dead within 1 to 2 years, literally. I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm just telling you the fact. That's what my doctor said. 1 to 2 years more than likely. But that's not my plan. My plan is to overcome. So right now I am pursuing a vitamin D cure. I'm making some changes and plan to save my life. I can't die until I make my film become reality on the screen for everybody and share it with you guys and gals. So that's my number one dream in my heart. The lineup today for the Astros is pretty interesting. We'll get to that in just a moment, but as far as it looks right now, I'm actually not dissatisfied with it. The Tram is leading off, followed by Altuve playing second base. I'm happy about that. Caratini's catching. Of course, Gordon is on the mound. He's warming up right now. Caratini's catching and batting third. Christian Walker batting fourth at first. Singleton is the DH today, batting fifth. So we got a couple of left-handed bats early in the lineup. Trammell, Caratini, and Singleton in the top 5 batters. We got 3 lefties there. Then we got Cam Smith batting sixth in right field. Cooper Hummel in left field. Let's hope that Hummel has a breakout day today. Keep waiting for it. Can Hummel go 3 for 4 today or something, or 3 for 5? Come on. 3 for 7. If he bats 7 times, that'd be great. Mauricio Dubon at third base, batting 8th, and Zach Short again 9th at shortstop. I'm actually okay with this lineup today. I'm okay with it. Yesterday kind of felt like strange. It felt strange. I need to take that off the screen. Jose Altuve is shaved and looking like a child again today. Howdy, fish-eyed. Who else is here? I want to say hi to everyone. To Lion, thanks for coming back. Always glad to see you here. And you too, Crispy. And Judy, of course. Max. It's a day game, that's right. Raina, thank you for coming in. And Fish-eyed Fool, howdy to all of you. We're about to get started here in just a moment. Miguel Andujar at the plate for the first pitch. 91 miles an hour. Fouled off for strike 1. Colton Gordon. Colton 45. Willard, I think everybody knows that. But we don't need just better hitters. We need some good left-handed hitters specifically. We need good left-handed hitters. Good hitters, yes. Left-handed hitters, double yes. Next pitch is in there. Second pitch was actually a ball. He kind of skated it by while I was responding to you guys. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gordon slightly ahead in the count here. Fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. My cough has come back. It never really left. So I'm going to be muting the mic sometimes if I have to cough. Just one of the side effects I'm having from my health condition. I apologize. Here's the pitch. Hits hard to right field all the way out to the wall. That's going to be gone. Kidding me? Okay, so that's what, 18 games in a row? 18 games in a row with that home run, opposite field, that the Astros have let their opponent score first. Astros have started off the last 18 games behind. The record all time is 24, held by the Braves. The Astros are now number 4 on that list. 24, 19, 19, and 18. We're wearing the navy blue jerseys. Yes, we are. Astros going to have to come from behind to win this again. Miguel Andujar with only 4 home runs this year. Lawrence Butler's at the plate. With that pitch, it is even 1-1. He had a home run yesterday, 3-run homer. Right in the bottom of the zone, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Same count as Andujar. Here's the next pitch. Oh, that was a nice Swiffer right there. That's what he should have thrown. That's what he should have thrown to Andujar. That was actually not a bad pitch. It was an opposite field homer. He just got the bat on it. Should have been like a sliced foul ball, but he got the bat solid on it. So just a, you want to say a lucky hit or a good hit, whatever you want to say. It found its way out. Strike 1 to Brent Rooker. Here's the next pitch. 93, low and inside. A's keep playing like this. By the time they get their new stadium, they're going to have a huge following. My coffee tastes very interesting. I added a bunch of butter to it. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Up and in. It looks like Gordon has already started off in a jam. The Colton Old-Timey Jam. The Gordon Old-Timey Jam, rather. I think I said the Corton. Taking his name, Colton Gordon, and putting it together. Yeah, Chris, I definitely need to drink a lot of water to help break it up, but the problem is that the cause is not going to go away. That's why I have to get the extra vitamin D. Whenever the sun is up in the sky today, I'm going to be lying out in the backyard in just my shorts, soaking that up for about 15 minutes. I'm going to do that every day from now on. Here comes the next toss. Outside, full count, 3-2. Yeah, it certainly did not. It certainly did not, shrewdly. Didn't take long at all. Here's the next pitch. This is hit hard to right field, but Cam Smith is underneath it. He didn't even have to move to get that one. 2 away, and Rooker is down. Langoliers comes to the plate. Langoliers the DH for today, batting cleanup. 248 batting average for the season. 779 OPS. First pitch to him on the way, low, ball 1. Langoliers with 16 homers. Why does it seem like everybody practically on the A's has at least 15 home runs? Low and inside. Andujar doesn't. He only has a few. He would have a leadoff homer. He only has a few. And he gets a leadoff homer. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Langoliers. A little low, ball 3. 3 straight balls. Yeah, John says the A's have swept the Astros 4 times, but you know they play each other a lot. But yeah, there have been some sweeping going on. This is crushed to left field. That might be gone. It is. Into the Crawford boxes. Langoliers goes deep. Gordon gives up another homer. So we start off with a 2-run jam. 2-0. Opposite field homer and then a Crawford box homer. 90-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball right in the middle of the zone. 90 miles an hour right in the middle of the zone. See, that's the way the Astros should be hitting those pitches. And we did not even do that off that other pitcher the other day. Here comes the next pitch. Next batter is Austin Wins. Wow. Here's the next pitch. In the dirt almost. 1-1 is the count. Here's a question for you guys and gals. If the Astros start getting destroyed today, should I should I protest by ending the live stream? If so, what should the lead be? I think that's a good question. That's a good discussion question. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Austin Wins with 2 outs and 2-0. The A's, 2 hits, 2 runs in the dirt, 2-2. I want to ask that as a discussion question. At what? Oh, hang on just a second. 92 miles an hour above the zone, and that, once again, that's where that last pitch should have been. Instead of in the strike zone, it should have been just above the strike zone, but instead it was right in the middle of the plate. Gave up a second home run. It's 2-0 at the end of the first, the top of the first. The Astros coming up to the plate, already in a hole, 2-0 behind the A's. And I've got a question for you, ladies and gentlemen. At what amount of let me change a little bit. At what lead should I stop the live stream in protest of the Astros performance? How many runs behind? There you go. Oh, it's too long. Let me change it to that. There you go. There's a question for you. The Tram is coming up to bat in just a moment. Man, it's so early. It's 3:20 in the morning, and already I'm having to deal with a 2-0 loss. But Taylor Trammell is at the plate. They're showing some of his highlights, recent successes. Altuve on deck. Caratini in the hole. Here comes the Tram. Right out of the station. First pitch is swing and a miss. Yeah, Max, you're right. Canseco and McGuire are back. Right in the top of the zone, 95 miles an hour, strike 2. Swing and a strike, then a take and a strike. Trammell down 0-2. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. One ball, two strikes to Trammell. Yeah, if Altuve had a big day today, it'd be awesome. Maybe he can win the game single-handedly. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Inside and strike three. Swing and a miss. The 87-mile-per-hour slider. Ginn has a 4.5 ERA. Six starts this year for the A's. He's 1-2. He's now facing Jose Altuve. Altuve goes after the first one, pops it up, and that's going to be playable in foul territory. Easily caught. So Altuve goes down on one pitch. Nothing doing so far for the Astros in the first. Victor Caratini comes to the plate. Come on, Caratini. Let's do something here. Here's the pitch. 95 right in there, strike one. You should enjoy your timeout for 5 minutes. Here's the pitch. Outside. The live chat is for discussion, chatting, comments. Anything is okay except for negative comments, useless comments. Don't drag the chat down. Don't drag everybody's mood down with garbage. Two balls and one strike to Caratini with that outside pitch. Here comes the 2-1. This is hit up the middle and scooped up by the shortstop. Wasn't quite hit hard enough to get a hit out of it. Again, it's 3 up and 3 down. No hits for the Astros. A strikeout, a foul out, and a ground out. So the Astros have a little hill to climb, 2-0 at the end of one. 2 solo home runs, an opposite field homer to right field, and then a homer to the Crawford boxes. Crispy, if people are just dumping comments, like, for example, if you say something like, I don't want you guys to be worried about, oh my gosh, if I say something, negative, I'm gonna go into timeout. It's not like that. What I mean is, don't say negative, useless, damaging things. For example, everybody knows somebody, right? Maybe a family member, probably, that's always just saying negative things. They can't, even if something good happens, okay, even if something good happens, they have to give a backhanded compliment, right? So they can't even just say something good. So even if the Astros were to win this game 10-0, what they would say is, yeah, they won 10-0 today, but now they can't score any runs tomorrow. Okay, well, that's not a positive comment. That's useless. Instead, they should say something like, I'm so glad that we're able to finally get a really good win. They deserve a good win. I'm so glad we won today. It feels nice to get 10 runs. These are good comments, but if someone says this is the worst team in the MLB, what a useless comment. Don't say stuff like that in my chat. Don't come in here and tell me that my team is the worst team in the MLB when, number one, that's clearly not the case. They would not be in first place if they were the worst team in the MLB. But the second thing is that really puts the chat atmosphere into a bad mood, and I can't allow that. Gio Urshela is at the plate. First pitch is a strike. Next pitch is a foul ball, strike 2. Four-seam fastball up in the zone. It's okay to be constructive. I think we kind of all know the main things that the Astros need to overcome right now. That's high and outside for ball 1 and 2. Gordon back on the mound. He's up to 28 pitches right now. Sam is correct. Here's the pitch. High and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the toss. Swing and a miss. 91 in the top of the zone. Another strikeout for Colton 45 Gordon. Urshela goes down. That's 1 away, and Colby Thomas comes to the plate. Can you imagine if the Astros were your son's Little League team? Can you imagine? First pitch to Colby Thomas is outside, ball 1. Information on the screen hasn't updated yet. Here's the next pitch to Thomas. A little low. Maybe a good 5 inches low. 2-0 is the count. But think about it. Substitute the Astros for your son's Little League team and tell me if you'd be saying stuff like that to your son. Outside, ball 3. 3 straight balls to Thomas. Your son's Little League team, like you said, Sammy, have just 3 less wins than the best team in the MLB. Here's a pitch. Right in there, strike 1, 3-1. Would you tell your son, your team is the worst in the MLB? Your team is the worst in the Little League. They suck. They can't hit the ball. They can't play. They can't pitch. Swing and a foul tip miss. Strike 2 and the count's full. Would you say stuff like that to your son? I sure hope not. Because number 1, of course, it wouldn't be true. Number 2, it'd be hateful to say that stuff. And that's what I'm saying. Don't be hateful in the comment section. Here comes the next pitch. Fouled off. Colby Thomas hanging in there just a little bit. The full count foul ball. What do you guys think about the Hall of Fame weekend hats they're wearing with a big Astros star in there? Swing and a miss. 92. Colton Gordon has his 4th strikeout of the game. There's a silver lining to everything, I guess. Maybe today Colton Gordon gets 12 strikeouts and goes 7 innings. What do you think? I don't think he's going to go 7. If he goes 6, I'll be happy about that. No more runs, 12 strikeouts, 6 innings. I'm calling it. Here's the first pitch to Max Schumann. Below the zone for ball 1. Here's the next toss. The 1-0 is right in the bottom of the zone for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Come on, Gordon. Here's the 1-1 toss. A little high on the 82-mile-per-hour Swiffer. Yeah, Sam said that the Astros have 3 less wins than any team in the MLB. With all the injuries they've endured, that's incredible. I absolutely agree. Why would I start bashing my own team? If I love the Astros, why would I bash them? Fouled off for strike 2. The count is even to Mr. Shoeman. Crispy says we swing it so many pitches out of the zone. We don't swing at the best pitch. We got some hitters like that. You're right. Not everybody does that. Christian Walker doesn't do that. He just can't put his bat on the ball very well. Christian Walker misses a lot of pitches in the zone. I would say that most of the pitches that he strikes out on swinging are in the zone. Christian Walker doesn't have a bad eye. He's patient enough at the plate. Just has trouble getting the bat on the ball properly. It's a full count right now. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Right in there, but fouled off. 91 mile per hour fastball. The count remains 3-2. Yeah, Sam, that's one of the things that people forget is that even the best teams in MLB go through a losing streak throughout the season. How about that? Another strikeout. That's strikeout number 5. Schumann swings and a foul tip miss on the fastball. Gordon has a nice inning right there. 3 up and 3 down. 5 strikeouts for Gordon. He's up to 42 pitches. Yeah, Ryan O'Hearn is one of the guys I've heard about the Astros being interested in. Actually, I pulled up his stats when I heard about that rumor. I pulled up his stats. This is Ryan O'Hearn here. If you take a look over here at his stats, this year his batting average is 282, and he's batted 298 times. That's really, really good. His OPS is 825, 39 RBIs, 41 runs scored, and 12 homers. I would definitely accept this guy. For sure I would. I pulled up his stats the other day when I heard this rumor. I was like, yep, I'd take him. Definitely I'd take him. To me, this is kind of the minimal that I would take right now if I were the Astros. Because there've been some articles and rumors about them going after these guys who are like, their batting average is like 218 and their OPS is like 698 or something. Like, we got plenty of those guys. We don't need guys like that. Forget those guys. We want guys who are performing. Speaking of performing, Christian Walker is at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes to Walker. Here's the next toss. Throw that ball, boy. See what I mean? 96 right in the middle of the plate. Walker goes down to his knee, swinging the bat, completely missing. I think there might have been a foul tip there, but my point stands. He took a pitch out of the zone. Good eye. And that pitch was right in the middle of the zone, 96 miles an hour. Foul tip, strike 1. That's what I'm talking about. Does Walker need glasses? It kind of reminds me of Major League. It wasn't that his problem when he was pitching. All he needed was glasses. He was really wild. Wild thing. You guys remember that? Too far inside. He check swings, holds up. Good hold up on that sinker. There was a lot of movement on it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the next toss. Right in the bottom of the zone, swing and a miss once again. There we go. So Walker takes 2 pitches out of the zone, swings at 2 pitches in the zone, misses both of them. Sam, at this point right now, I'm just going to say that if I could go all in on anything, I would get an ace pitcher, an ace starting pitcher, an absolute ace for sure. I'd go all in on that. That's what I would do. This is hit to the opposite side. Walker finally puts his bat on it. Thank goodness. We got ourselves a leadoff runner at first base on the little tapper. A little tap, tap, taparoo. John Singleton Big John Singleton comes to the plate. How nice would it be to see a bat flip in a tie game right here? I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm feeling nostalgic. Lefty on righty. There's the pitch. It's high. Ball one. Jordan, welcome in. He says, what the heck? We're already losing 2-0. Yeah, 2 solo homers in the first inning, by the way. Here comes the next pitch to John. He hits this one to the right side. Looks like it's going to be a double play. No. Oh, yeah, they did get him. I thought maybe he was safe. I thought maybe he got there in time, but they call him out. Are they going to look at it? Looks like they did call him safe. Yep, one away. Singleton manages to hustle down the line and keep the double play from happening, thank goodness. But I was hoping for a bat flip there. I didn't get one. Instead, we have one away, runner on first. Cam Smith at the plate. Come on, Cam. Crank it up, baby. Check swing, foul tip. Strike one. Man, they've moved Cam Smith way up. He was leading off. Now he's batting sixth. They gave Trammell that spot. I guess they'd want to move Smith down until he starts to get hot again. He's like 5 for 30 right now. His last 30 at bats. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Oh, hit him. Ow, right on the hand, looks like. He's really, it's on his arm. He's holding his arm right now. They're probably going to run over and look at him. Man, that's the last thing we need. Cam Smith to be injured on the arm. Take a look at this. Ow, right there close to the wrist. Holy freaking cow, man. Yeah, they're checking his wrist right now. Good freaking grief, man. Can you imagine? Before we can even get Pena back, Cam Smith going out. You know that this team has like 100 guys on the injury list, right? And you're hitting them. Can't be doing that. Kind of looks bad, and you're in Houston. You don't want to upset the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got it. I hears you. Well, we got 2 runners on. Smith goes to first base. He's going to stay in. That's good news. Cooper Hummel comes to the plate with runners on first and second, 1 out. Just as the soldier said after shooting all the bovine. Holy cow. First pitch to Hummel on the way in just a moment. Here comes. Right in the bottom of the zone, low and outside. Well-placed pitch, strike one. Crispy wants to know if there's any word on Pena. Yes, Pena is in Florida taking a little bit of practice down there, taking some swings from what I know, from what I heard. Here's the pitch. Little outside, ball one. 1-1 is the count to Hummel. Yeah, no mid. I agree. Crispy, you and I are 100% agreement. No matter who we get, whether it's a hitter or a pitcher, please no more mid players. Again, steps off the mound for a moment. We need an ace pitcher, an ace starting pitcher. We need a star hitter. Don't give me any less than that. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Ginn. Whoa, almost hit Hummel. 2 balls, 1 strike. Crowd booing a little bit there. I definitely wouldn't be looking to offer Fromber at this point. We need him. Fromber is like our main guy right now. He is our main guy right now. He seriously is. Outside, ball 3. Good at bat by Hummel. Don't swing at that garbage, man. Don't swing at the garbage. Make Ginn throw it in to the zone. Runners on first and second, guys, with a hit and a hit by pitch. 3-1 is the count to Hummel. Here's the pitch from Ginn. Right in there, 96 miles an hour. He fouls it back. Walker on second base with a single. Cam Smith on first base with a sore wrist after getting hit by Ginn. Hummel with a full count at the plate, batting lefty. $20 to $25 million a year. It'd be worth it if we could get an ace. I'll tell you that. Hummel steps out of the box. He wants a little timeout. He wants a mini siesta. Glasses for Walker might make sense. Or maybe his contacts need to be changed. He gets a new prescription. Maybe that will help. Here comes a full count pitch from Ginn. Hummel grounds it to second. Don't tell me that's going to be a double play. Yes, it's a double play. It was a great at-bat until the double play. The Astros get one hit. They get gifted a hit by pitch. And they can't do anything with it. Can't do anything with it. At the very least, Hummel could have struck out and gave the next guy the opportunity to do something, but instead he grounded into a double play. So we're done with 2 innings. 2 hits for the A's, 1 hit for the Astros. It's 2-0. What happened if you just came in 2 solo home runs in the first inning? The A's had an opposite field home run to right field and then a home run to the Crawford boxes. Take a quick look at the chat. It's more interesting right now for us fans than what's going on in the game. How do people feel about the automatic ball strike ump thing? Well, Jordan, I saw it in the All-Star game. I watched just a little bit of the All-Star game, and a couple of things that I noticed. Number 1, it was accurate. I liked that. Number 2, it didn't slow the game down too much, just a little bit. But number 3, guess what? Every single time somebody wanted a challenge, they got it overturned. So think about that. Think about that, okay? I think that's very, very important. The pitcher and the catcher can initiate a challenge. The batter can initiate a challenge. And they had multiple instances where both of those happened, or all of those happened. And guess what? The challenges overturned it 100% of the time. What do you think of that? That means that every time there was a challenge, the umpire was wrong. How about that? So I think that's a very important thing to note. I'm all for it. The reason I'm all for it is because even though most umpires are not bad, there are some that just destroy the game. 0-1 to Urias. Next pitch is in the bottom of the zone for strike 2. Gordon has 5 strikeouts. This is the top of the third. He has 0-2 count right now on Urias. Swing and fouled back. The count remains 0-2. Nobody said to get a star batter and an ace, Ayush. Nobody said that. Here's the pitch. Fouled off on the left side. The count stays 0-2. Crispy says no trading Fromber. If anything, I think we should resign him. Resign him next year. He's proven to be good, consistent, and durable. I'd like to keep Fromber. I really would. This is hit to left field. Coming in is Hummel, and he's got it. Soft line drive. Out number 1. Gordon up to 49 pitches. Miguel Andujar comes to the plate, the top of the batting order for the A's. He had an opposite field home run in the first inning. This is his second at bat. Ayush, trading Hunter Brown for a star ace makes no sense. First pitch is in there for strike one. The count is 0-1 to Andujar. Here comes the toss. Was that a Swiffer? Yeah. Too far inside and low. 1-1 strike. By the way, guys, after I got the new tires put on my van yesterday, I drove to Costco in Hiroshima City, which is next to the Hiroshima Carp Baseball Stadium. There was a game yesterday, and I could have gone to the game. Another one too far inside and low. 2-1 strike. But right now, I'm just not able to spend the money on stuff like that. But I did take a few pictures while I was there. Swing and a miss, 83 miles an hour on the changeup. 2 strikes. I took a few pictures for you guys and gals. I'm going to post those on the community later on. I got back kind of late last night, so I didn't have time to do it. But I will post those so you can kind of see what the stadium looks like from Costco. Fouled off, the count remains 2-2. Whenever you drive up the parking deck in Costco is upstairs. And when you drive up to the parking deck, you can actually get a good view of the stadium and the ballpark. And a lot of people are going in and getting ready for the game to start in the afternoon. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This is hit high in the air. He golfs it up. Zach Short is back to put it away. 2 down. Andujar flies out. Yeah, every time we get a run on first, Crispy, I feel the same way. It's like, man, get him off first base. Please get him off first base. Too far inside. The first pitch to Lawrence Butler, ball 1. 2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes. Nobody on. Here's the pitch. A little low and inside, ball 2. Yes, Sam, I live in Hiroshima. Actually, East Hiroshima. In the countryside, actually. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's strike 1. 2-1 strike with the Swiffer to Lawrence Butler. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Outside. 2-1 strike. I'm sorry, 3-1 strike. I am streaming this game live from Hiroshima. Hiroshima, Japan. That's correct, sir. This is hit right back to Gordon, who flips it to first base. Easy out. 3 up and 3 down. Pretty interesting. So Gordon gives up the 2 solo home runs in the first. Now he's up to about 60 pitches. He has retired 7 in a row since the first inning. Not too bad. Not too bad. Ayush, I'm telling you, if you've really got to change your tone, man. Don't pull down my chat. Either be neutral or pull the chat up. Be more light. Be lighter. Pull the chat up. Don't pull it down. Don't be a downer. Pull it up. Is that so much to ask in the chat? For those of you who aren't looking at the live chat, you're just listening in. I just want the live chat to be either neutral or positive, preferably positive. Let's lighten it up. No reason to just be dumping a bunch of negative comments about how frustrated you are. That's a personal problem. That doesn't have anything to do with the Astros. So what? The Astros lost 3 in a row to the A's. Who cares? Who really cares? All I care about is being happy from inside here all the way on the outside. And I'm very happy about where the Astros are right now in the division and in the league. And I know we have guys coming back. There's reason to be hopeful for the rest of the season. But even if they don't win, so what? That's baseball, isn't it? Here's the pitch to Doobie. Hey, he hits that out in the left field. Oh, man. Rooker is able to get to it. A line drive on the very first pitch. Rooker is able to get it on the run. If that had gotten by him, that would have been a bouncer off the wall and a double for Doobie. A Doobie double. But unfortunately, it's out 1. Zach Short comes to the plate. Let's see if Short can have a big day. What are these guys going to have a big day today? I can feel it. Here's the pitch. Right in there, 95 miles an hour, strike 1. So far, Christian Walker is the one showing that he might have the big day because he has the only hit for the Stros so far. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Ginn. 1 out, nobody on. On the ground, backhanded by the shortstop. He makes the long throw. Man, Zach Short is just not fast, is he? Short comes up short. 2 outs. So apparently Zach Short. I wonder who's faster, him or the fast turtle rather. Do you guys know who the fast turtle is? The fast turtle is Isaac Paredes. The Tram is back at the plate. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 1. They like throwing the sliders and the breaking pitches in the dirt to Trammell. He does have 1 strikeout at his first at bat. See what he does here. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside and low. Is that a strike? Oh, man, that was barely on that corner. Not a good pitch to be swinging at, but it barely touched the corner. Touched by a corner. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Too far inside. That slider moved so much it looked more like a Swiffer. 2-1 is the count. Two balls, 1 strike. Here comes the toss. It's high. 3-1. Good take. It's useless talking about who we'd take over Hunter Brown. We already have Hunter Brown, so that's useless conversation. 95 up and outside. The umpire makes a very, very delayed call. Trammell had already turned around and started walking towards first base. He had thrown his bat down and taken off some pads, and then the umpire calls strike 2. It took the umpire like 5 seconds to call strike 2. What's that about? It's like he wanted to make him look like a fool. Here's the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. Fouls it off at the plate. Count remains 3-2. What in the world's with this umpire? Is he trying to show off? It's about me. It's not about you two teams. It's about me, the umpire, the whole plate umpire. Here I am, God. That's what the umpire's thinking. Here's the pitch. Right in there, strike 3. Trammell takes a strike for another strikeout. He went down swinging his first at bat. This time he was just trying too hard, kind of like Zach Short, just trying too hard to get the walk. Sometimes Short tries way too hard to get the walk. I feel like whenever Zach Short gets to like a 3-1 count, he's just thinking, I'm definitely going to get a walk, so he just stops swinging. Tram kind of gave up there on 3-1 and took 2 pitches. Struck out. Zach Short style. ZS style. Zach style. Zach style. Max asking about bears in Japan. That's pretty funny. He says, I hear Japan is having a problem with bears right now. Does Hiroshima have any wandering around? Well, it's funny that you asked that. I can tell you something really funny about this, Max. You'll like this. Maybe everyone else will find it interesting, but I do have a small mountain behind my house. There are many small mountains around here, but in this particular area, this mountain is the second tallest mountain. The first tallest mountain is nearby, but they have a bunch of like antennas and towers on it, lookout towers and things like that. My mountain has a road that goes over it and a hiking trail that goes to the top. So you can actually drive up there, park your car, and then go hiking the rest of the way up to the summit. But whenever you start to drive up there, there is a big sign with a warning about the bears. And it's all in Japanese. Now, of course, I can read, there are different writing systems in Japanese. I can read some of it. But some of the kanji, like the Chinese style writing, I can't read all of it. So I had to translate it. Here's the first pitch to Rooker. Strike 1. Up and in. But basically when I translated it, it was hilarious. I started laughing. It said, warning, bear infestation. Hey, that was a nice pitch. 0-2. Colton Gordon ahead of Rooker. Now, it sounds really bad, right? Bear infestation. That one's above the zone for ball 1. 1-2 to Rooker. 3 straight fastballs from Gordon. It's really not that bad. There are some black bears. But the black bears around here in Hiroshima, they are dangerous, but they're not nearly as big and dangerous as the ones in Hokkaido. This is hit out into right field, and that'll drop for a hit. On the 1-2 count, Rooker goes opposite field with a soft serve. He pulled out the old pitching wedge for that one. Blip! Just dropped it into right field. That's the 3rd hit of the game. The first hit for the A's since those 2 homers in the first inning. Gordon retired 7 in a row. And then there's that hit. No outs. Langalier's at the plate. And Gordon steps off the mound. But yeah, over the past few years, a lot of these bears have been coming down from the mountain looking for food. 0-1, swing and a miss. So we have to be careful about disposing of our trash, you know. Can't leave any trash outside. Can't leave any kind of things like that laying around. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss on low and inside. On the Swiffer, 0-2 is the count. I got lots of animals around here, though. The wild raccoon dog, which is called Tanuki. Sometimes that climbs into the attic of my old house here. I can hear him. I'll wake up sometimes. I can hear him walking around up there. We've got snakes out here. Tons and tons of deer. You have no idea how many deer there are. If you're a deer hunter, you'd love to be here. 92 right in there. Strike 3. How about that? A 3-pitch strikeout. That's number 6. 6 Ks for Colton Gordon. Right down the middle. Right in the bottom of the zone there. Boom. 67 pitches now for Gordon. 1 away. Runner on first. Austin wins at the plate, but he loses here. He hits this up the middle. It's going to drop. No, he did win. wins with the hit up the middle. 2 soft singles by the A's. Isn't that funny? 2 home runs in the first inning, and in this inning, 2 soft singles. It's the total opposite. Also got a bunch of wild boars, wild pigs around here. Tons of frogs. Dragonflies. Praying mantises. Got a lot of praying mantises here. That's another story I could tell you guys sometime. There's so many things I could tell you about what's happened around here. Here's the pitch. 92 in the bottom of the zone. Fouled off by Urshela. 0-1 is the count. 69 pitches for Gordon. Number 70 on the way in just a moment. Yeah, I'd be a little ticked off, Jordan. I agree with you about what you said about Fromber. I don't want to lose Fromber. Okay, that was a wild pitch in the dirt. Both runners advanced. They moved to second and third. In the dirt, Caratini couldn't quite handle it. I don't think he was expecting the ball to be right there. Couldn't get his body in front of it. But that was a swing and a miss. So 0-2 is the count. Here comes the next pitch to Urshela. Nope. He steps out of the box there. Here's the next pitch. This is hit high in the air, left field. That's going to score a run for sure on a tag. Hummel's got it. He throws to third. No, actually comes home. I don't know why. Sacrifice fly, as predicted by me. How is it that I know that Hummel can't throw him out at home plate, and he should have just thrown it to third, but he goes home anyway, and he easily scores? 3-0 A's. Runner on second base with 2 outs. Colby Thomas at the plate. He struck out his last at bat. Here comes the next toss. Swing and a foul tip miss. 91 miles an hour. Strike 1. Is there a shampoo for bear infestation, Chris? Oh, I wish there was. Woo, 81 just barely missed the bottom of the zone. That could have been called a strike. 1-1 is the count. They, believe it or not, what they tell people to do is, number one, wear a bell, okay? Wear a bell. They think that it scares the bears away. Here's the pitch. Right in the bottom of the zone. That's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the fastball. To me, it's like wearing a dinner bell. Like, come and get it, come and get it. You know, you just wear a bell on your belt. That's what people in Japan do. Can you believe that? I've never heard of that in my life. But to me, it's kind of like, dinner time, baby. Come and eat me. There's the pitch. Grounded foul down the third baseline. The count remains 1-2. The second thing that they tell people to do, which makes more sense, is to carry bear spray. You know, it's like mace for bears. That actually works really, really well. It's saved people's lives before. There was a big bear in Hokkaido, and it started to attack a bunch of hikers, maybe about 7 hikers, but they had the spray, and it freaked out and ran away. Here's the pitch. The 1-2. Oof. Seemed like a foul ball, maybe off the end of the bat. Yep, it hit the end of the bat. Oh! It hits Caratini in a very sensitive spot after hitting the knob of the bat. He had to take a moment, understandably. Thank you for your service, Caratini. 1-2 pitch on the way again in the dirt, but he stops this one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, there's foxes here too. They've also got a red panda. They've got all sorts of things here. Monkeys also. I don't have any monkeys around here though. They've got monkeys around Hiroshima City. Not too many, but they got them. Here's a pitch. Fouled off. Count remains 2-2. Yeah, Max. You know, There've been a couple of reasons why the bears have been coming down. One is that their favorite food really is to eat berries and stuff in the mountains, and for whatever reason, there haven't been as many, or maybe there are more bears. I don't know, but there hasn't been enough berries to really satisfy them. This is ripped to left field. Is that going to be fair? Just foul. Holy cow, that was right into the corner. It was ripped. It looked like it was right on the line. They'll probably give us another angle on it here in just a second. Yeah, take a look at this. Whoo, just a few inches foul. But that's one of the things that they told us. I've gotten messages from the city many times. Be careful, because bears have been spotted in this area. Actually, a bear got caught in a wild boar trap, a wild pig trap, a few months ago. And they reminded us not to be leaving any food out or any garbage. This is hit hard into center field, and Trammell comes in. He makes a catch, but it's off the ground. And that's an RBI. Tram makes a diving catch, but it's off the ground, so that's going to be 4-0 A's. Tram tries to get there, just can't quite make it in time. Oh, it did roll under his glove. I mean, he stopped it. He just couldn't come up with the catch. Just about an inch shy. 4-0. Another soft single. Man. 1,000 cuts. Death by 1,000 cuts. That's what this is. The A's are going with Chinese-style warfare here. Max Schumann at the plate. 0-1 is the count with that foul ball. We've got a guy on second base. Here comes the toss from Gordon. Way inside. Ball 1-1. Jordan, I've wanted to hike to the top, but I can't right now. You know, I've got that massive tumor on my kidney, and it causes me to have severe anemia and edema. So I don't have the physical ability to do it right now. Stairs and going uphill, this is my mortal enemy at the moment. Any physical exertion is my mortal enemy. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Schumann. 2 outs, runner on second. Here in the top of the 4th, the Astros determined to get swept by the A's, looking like so far. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This is hit over on the right side. Another really soft serve ball, but Walker's able to float back and get it, thankfully. Colton Gordon, guys, through 4 innings, has thrown over 80 pitches. 4-0 A's with 5 hits. Astros have 1 hit, no runs. This series really is a good example of where the Astros are at right now. You know, we've had to patch together. You could say that the Astros are like a life raft. They've lost the main ship. They're on a life raft with a bunch of holes, and they're having to patch it up with a bunch of discount brand Band-Aids. Not even real Band-Aids, just the dollar store Band-Aids. Poor Astros. Poor Astros fans. Hang in there. It'll be all right. Daryl says hello from Houston, Texas. Hello, sir. Thank you for being back here today. By the way, thank you all very, very much for getting me to over 800 subscribers. Recently passed that mark. I noticed that last night, and I wanted to say thank you very much. Getting to 1,000 by the end of the season is going to be easy, no matter what the Astros do. That's going to be no problem. I'm not worried about that. Actually, based on my analytics, I should be over 1,500, no problem, by the end of the season. But that wouldn't be possible without all of you. Some channels, some people really, really want to, their focus is to make a successful channel and make a lot of money and stuff like that. But with this channel, my focus has just been showing up, and doing the best that I can do, because live streaming a play-by-play is like nothing I've ever done before. And I seriously doubted my ability to do it in the beginning, and my ability to have success. Altuve's at the plate. Takes that first pitch up and in for strike one. Altuve flew out. He fouled out, actually. His first at bat on the very first pitch. Right now he's down to the count 0-1. Here comes the next pitch from Ginn. He rips that one down the third baseline. Foul. 0-2 is the count. Bamboo eating bears. Swing and a miss on the changeup. Strike three. Altuve goes down. It's 3 strikeouts for Ginn. 2 on Trammell, 1 on Altuve. Victor Caratini comes to the plate. Still waiting for these Astros bats to wake up. Victor Caratini was on fire coming into this series. Here's the pitch. 94, swing and a miss, strike one. But you know, the venison around here, Jordan, it's interesting because in Japan, if you can't get a special license to become a hunter, because you know typically people can't have guns in Japan, but if you can get a license to become a hunter, you can have special permission to get a gun and do hunting. Here's a pitch. Too high and inside. I met a guy in Tokyo who is a hunter, and sometimes he flies over to America to go hunting, but he has a license to hunt here in Japan. In areas like around here where the deer are overpopulated, they cause problems for the farmers. Low and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Caratini with 1 out, nobody on. In the bottom of the 4th, the Astros with nothing on the board right now. But I can go down to the cafe here. They have wild boar meat and deer meat. You can order hamburgers and sausage and stuff like that. Swing and a miss on a ball that could have been ball 3. Change up outside. Nice movement on that pitch, Mr. Ginn. 2-2 is the count. Come on, Batman. Here's the 2-2. He taps it to the right side. Should be an easy play for the second baseman. He lobs it over the first baseman, who lobs it back to the second baseman. Out number 2. If you guys have not liked the live stream, please hook me up. 52 people listening in right now and only 21 likes. I know that you're not happy about the Astros' performance, but you could be happy about me being here and doing the game for you. Show your appreciation by liking the live stream, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Look forward to a better game in the future. The only Astros hit today is this guy right here, Christian Walker. He fouls that one off. Strike one. Yeah, you're right, Daryl. You can hear a pin drop in this stadium. You absolutely can. This crowd is already deflated. Already. We're not even through the 4th inning yet. You know that the Astros players have to be feeling the tension on them right now, right? Walker hits that one pretty hard to left center, but looks playable. Left fielder grabs it for out number 3. That's it for the Stros. He now has 7 Astros retired in a row, just like Gordon did earlier before he gave up 2. Maybe that means that in the next inning he'll be giving up a couple of runs. We'll see. That's it for the Stros in this inning. In the next inning, John Singleton will lead it off, followed by Cam Smith. But as for now, Gordon is likely back up on the mound for his last inning. I didn't see anybody warming up in the bullpen, and Gordon is approaching the mid-80s on his pitch count. He's been averaging about 20 pitches per inning. A little more than 20 pitches per inning, actually. If he gets even 15 pitches this inning, he will be at 100. Actually, 16. If he gets 16 pitches, he'll be at 100. He's going to be out shortly. Shortly! Are you talking about ticks all over the deer, Jordan? Yucky. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember back when I would deer hunt with my dad when I was a kid. I know what you're talking about. See the ticks on some of those wild animals. Well, I wouldn't say that I would. I'm going to be happy no matter what. Crispy, I see what you're saying, and I do agree. At least get something. Don't be shut out. But I want to win this game. Now, no matter what happens in this game, I can still be happy. I can forget about it. When I shut off this live stream, no matter what happens in this game, man, Altuve still looks like a kid, doesn't he, whenever he shaves? Doesn't he look like he's 20? Crazy. Forever young. Here's the first pitch right in there. Strike one. Gordon delivers the pitch to Urias. Here's the next pitch. He ropes that one into left field, into the stands. That would have been a line drive off the Crawford box wall if it had been fair, but it's 0-2. Yeah, Gambarimasu. That's right, John. Let's do our best. Here's the pitch. Rifles it again down the line. Foul. 0-2. The count remains. I don't let the Astros' performance or their season dictate how I feel in my life. When they win, I soak it in. And when they lose, I just push it out of my mind. I have no room in my life for that kind of stuff. Here's the pitch outside. The curveball missing a few inches out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If I'm an Astros pitcher, I'd be furious at the offense for no run support. It doesn't help motivation. It sure doesn't. This is a line drive to left field. Cooper Hummel. Cooper Hummel. You guys got to forgive me. It's 4:20 in the morning here. Cooper Hummel with a great catch out in left field. At least he's doing something good on defense. That's the one thing that you can't complain about is the Astros gloves on defense. Miguel Andujar back at the plate. Takes that first pitch in there for strike one. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the next pitch. Chops to the left side. It's going to be hard for DeBon. He makes the play. They say he's safe. They're going to take another look at it. Yeah, Spot is saying they're not going to challenge it. That's an infield hit. A 1-out single, infield single by Andujar. He's got 2 hits today, a home run and an infield single. But, you know, it's not just the hitting there, Crispy. I'd say that whenever the starting pitcher goes 6 or 7 innings and only gives up like 1 run, and then the relief pitchers come in and they just blow up the game by giving up like 5 runs, that's also disappointing. Another pitch bounces away. I think that's a passed ball. I think that got away from Caratini. That was not a wild pitch. It bounces away, and Andujar goes to second base. Went away with the runner on second. Just a bad attempt at a catch there. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside and low. Ball 2 to Lawrence Butler. Here's the pitch. Short grabs that grounder up the middle and throws it over to first base. Andujar goes to third base. 2 outs. 2 outs. Runner on third, 2 away with Brent Rooker at the plate. Uh, let's see here. Ayush, I did the fasting for a week, but because I need vitamin D, I have to change my diet to a keto high-fat diet. So I had to go buy bacon, ground meat, eggs, lots of grass-fed butter, and I've got magnesium that I'm taking, vitamin D3, vitamin K, low and inside to Rooker for ball 2, 2 straight balls. Luis Contreras, who was just called up recently, is in the bullpen going now for the Astros. This will be his 8th game when he comes in with the Stros. Here's the pitch. Low. 3-0. But if I'm doing fasting or eating a regular diet while I'm taking the vitamin D3, it's no good. I need a high-fat diet to help with it. Ball 4. All right. Wow. That was below the zone. The umpire called it a strike. I'm wrong. Even though it was a ball, it was clearly a ball. The Swiffer, 2 or 3 inches below the zone, but it called it a strike, so it's 3-1. Here comes the next toss. This is hit into center field. Should be playable by the Tram, and it is out number 3. No damage done there, thankfully. The A's get a hit, get a guy on, but it leads to nothing. A big bag of nothing. It's 4-0. A's going into the bottom of the 5th. 6 hits for the A's, 1 hit. You know you're struggling when you only have 1 hit through 4 innings, and that's coming from Christian Walker. That's no good. This afternoon when the sun is up, I'm going to take off my shirt, take off my socks, and just wander outside in my shorts and lie down in the sun for a little while, for about 15 minutes. Soak in that vitamin D. I'm doubling up, taking the vitamin D3 supplements and going outside and lying down in the sun. For those of you who have any issues with the flu or colds or pneumonia or cancer or any other type of diseases, any diseases at all, check your vitamin D levels. Very, very important to get some good sun every day. They say 10 to 20 minutes. 15 minutes is just right, I think, for me, because I'm so freaking white. I burn easily. Can't stay out there too long. So I'm just going to go out there and lie down and get 15 minutes every day. Supplement it with vitamins. Add on the keto diet with a high fat. Use this as an opportunity to try to restore my health. Turn everything around. Yep, that's right. Big John is at the plate. First pitch to him just a little outside for ball 1. Good take. Glad that the umpire called that correctly. Singleton is 0 for 1 today. Here comes the next pitch from Ginn. He's only up to 44 pitches. Having a pretty easy day so far. Above the zone, ball 2. Yeah, Jordan, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You got to have that fat, man. There's no way I can be fasting. I could be taking 4 times the amount of vitamin D, but if I'm not eating the right diet, it won't benefit me. I can't absorb it. All right. Second base hit for the Astros. Singleton goes right up the middle. Leadoff base runner. No bat flip there, but it's nice to have a hit up the middle. Well, you did do a little flip there at the end. It was a little bad flip. That was okay. Crank it up, Cam at the plate with the runner on, no outs. Here's the pitch. Oh man, 95 on the inside, swing and a miss. That was a weak looking swing. He should have tried to pull it. His last at bat, he was hit basically close to the wrist by Ginn. 0-1 is the count. Here comes the lob. Oh, it's hit onto the right side off the end of his bat, and he's going to be tagged out. Singleton goes to second base, so at least we have eliminated the double play, guys. All right, yeah, well, we've eliminated the traditional double play. Singleton on second base with 1 out. Take that, Cooper Hummel. Cooper Hummel comes to the plate. You cannot ground into a double play now, mister. That's exactly what he did last time. Not this time. Not this time, sucker. Yeah, that was a good play by Dubon, even though he didn't get the out. You're right, Jordan. Yeah, we definitely need to play. If we can come back strong against the Nationals, I'll feel better about that. I was expecting that to be harder than this series. Outside. Ball 1. It seems like Ginn is throwing a lot of balls now suddenly. Well, the problem with the morning sun, Jordan, is that you can't get it full body. Here's the pitch. 88 miles an hour wide. If the sun is... If your shadow is shorter, you know, the sun is more up, then whenever you lie down, you can get it full body. But what I heard is that the morning sun and the evening sun is good for your eyes and all of that. Here's the next pitch. Hummel goes to first. He steps on first base, the first baseman. Singleton moves to third base, so Cooper moves him over. That could have been another double play ball, so it's a good thing that Singleton was on second base. 2 away. And speaking of Doobie and double plays, he missed the double play earlier, but he made a good play. He is at the plate, lined out. He had a really nice line drive to left field earlier, just in the wrong spot. See if he can get a nice hit here and drive in a run. Low and inside, ball 1. Mr. Antonio, they pulled him back to the minors maybe about a month and a half ago. Maybe a month and a half ago. Maybe more than that. And then recently they called him up. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Doobie. Right in there, 96 mile per hour stinker. The count's even, 1-1. John Singleton is on third base with 2 outs. Astros looking for their first run of the game. Doobie at the plate with a 1-1 count. Here's the 55th pitch of the game from Ginn. This is hit on the ground to third. Easy throw over to first base for out number 3. Another ground out. Ground out, ground out, ground out. What's with all the ground outs today? No runs for the Astros. 1 hit by John Singleton up the middle. The Astros have 2 hits, and that's it on offense. We go to the top of the 6th. The Astros are down 4-0. And I believe that we're going to have Contreras on the mound for the Astros. I'm not sure that I have his image. Did I make one for him? No, I did not. I did not. Luis Contreras. I gotta make an image for him. I don't have an image for him, so if he comes into the game, I got to get one right quick. Ayush assumes that nobody on the Astros cares about winning. Yeah, that's the reason why. 99.9% of all the players on the team don't care about winning. Doobie's the only one. Everybody else happy to lose. Who cares? They're just collecting a paycheck, right? They suddenly don't care. None of them. You're right. What a joke. Yes, it is. You're right, Mark. It is Monday morning. It's 4:34 in the morning over here, July 28th. Welcome to the future. 9 innings so far for Contreras, and he's got the old 9 ERA. 90 miles an hour on the outside edge. Call it a ball one. Could have been a strike. No problem, Antonio. By the way, he's been doing pretty good in the minors. Several home runs. He even had a 2 home run game. This is hit into left field. Hummel's underneath it for out number 1. Contreras gets the first out against Langoliers on the fly ball. Austin Wynns comes to the plate in just a moment. One for 2 is Austin Wynns with a single today, a soft single right up the middle. Foul tip, strike 1, right into the glove of one Victor Caratini. Next pitch, also same. Swing and a foul tip miss. 2 in a row like that, right in the glove of Caratini. 2 pitches, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on. Here comes the next toss to Wynns. Hey, look at that. 3 straight pitches, 3 swings, 3 strikes. In the dirt. Contreras with a strikeout. Nice. Look at this, guys. Talk about a wicked pitch. Boom. Wow. Big movement there. That thing dropped so much it didn't even get to Caratini's glove. 2 outs, nobody on. Gio Urshela at the plate. Nice pitch in the bottom of the zone. Strike 1. One pitch on the way, low and outside. Ball 2, 2-1. I missed a pitch there as I'm trying to get my pitcher portrait. Picture change. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High and outside. Wow, that one missed a lot. 3-1. This is hit hard into the left field stands, but foul. Man, that was way back there. 3-1 pitch. He was gunning for the fences there, but came around too early. It's a full count now. 2 outs, nobody on. Urshela at the plate. Here's the pitch. Contreras gets a ground ball to short. Short from short. 3 up and 3 down. Nice to see that. Just 10 pitches to get through the inning. Nice solid inning. Nice solid start for Contreras. All right. Contreras, Contreras, Contreras. I'm trying to get him a picture up on the screen. I got it uploaded into my folder right quick. There we go. Yeah, Luis Contreras is on. Jordan, I just need to change my my image on the screen, that's all. I didn't have an image made for Contreras yet, so I had to create that. And then I'll get it on the screen in just a moment. Boom. There we go. Got the funny look on his face. Why is it cropped? Is it cropped? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I see. It's not supposed to be cropped. Okay. Let me get that resized. There we go. That's better. All right. Zach Short is at the plate. It's the bottom of the 6th, guys. We got 4 more innings of ball. Takes the first pitch. Speaking of ball, for ball 1, here's the next pitch from Ginn. Low. Another good take by Short. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, short at short. It seems to fit, right? Short at short. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Fouls it off. I was actually feeling like this lineup could do something today. The way it was stacked. And I don't mean stacked as in strong. I mean the way it was layered. But everybody's cold right now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the toss. Right on the outside edge. Strike 2. 2-2. Yeah, Mark, he did make a really bad error. A really costly error yesterday. Here comes the next pitch. Right in the top of the zone. Should have been strike 3, but the umpire lays off. Holy cow. Zach Short gets lucky. Should have been strike 3. 95-mile-per-hour sinker right in the top of the zone, but it's a full count now. Here comes the pitch. He goes after that one right in the middle of the zone, and it's popped on the right side. Right fielder grabs it for out number 1. Somehow the Astros are still leading the league in batting average for leadoff batters. Leadoff hitter batting average is .309. It's not showing today. Tram is at the plate. Speaking of leadoff batters, come on, man, you can do it. Inside ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. 88 miles an hour below the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Johnny comes in and goes immediately back to timeout because I'm not in the mood. Oh, well, I'm in the mood to deal with anything, but I don't have to accept anything. There we go. Leadoff batter. Opposite field hit. Tramel's going for 2. He should be in there. No problem. He wheels into second base with a double. Look at him getting the crowd riled up. He's doing the train signal. The tram, baby. I like that he's doing like the tram. Shoot, shoot. Shoot, shoot. The tram. I love what he's doing to the crowd here after he gets that hit. He starts telling everybody, there it is, look at this. He's like, over here to the tram, baby. This the tram. Come on, let's get the tram going. Jose Altuve comes to the plate with a runner on second, one out. Tuve. Somebody's yelling, Tuve. Here's the pitch. Just above the zone, for some reason, called a strike. And that was about an inch and a half above the zone. Around Altuve's nose, maybe. Here comes the next pitch. Altuve rips it foul down the third baseline, 0-2. That's a good one, Mark. I put him in timeout. He can think about what he's done. That's high. 1-2 to Altuve. Come on, Altuve. We really need you, bro. We need you, Altuve. Michael Kelly is warming up in the A's bullpen. The Astros have already seen him in this series. Here comes a 1-2 pitch to Altuve. He fouls it off. 88 miles an hour on the outside edge. Astros with 3 hits now. Trammell with 1, Walker with 1, Singleton with 1. 2 of those guys are lefties. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Altuve. Way outside, ball 2. The count is even. .69 pitches for Ginn, 70th on the way. Here's the toss. Altuve fouls it off and almost loses his hat. His helmet comes off. He seizes the opportunity to wipe the sweat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. John says, remember the song Come On Ride the Train? You know, here in Hiroshima, they still have a lot of streetcars. And they also have a tram. They got a lot of cool modes of transportation around here that are nice. Not around me. I'm in the countryside, but in the city they do. Low and outside, full count. Good at bat by Altuve. He was done wrong on the first pitch. Above the zone, called a strike. He got foul balls on the other pitches in the zone. Everything else has been out of the zone and taken. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Man, that could have been ball 4, but he's trying to make something happen. Swinging a foul ball at the plate. It's pretty interesting. Ginn is only at 71 pitches, 72. And they've got somebody that's been warming up in the bullpen. They might be pulling him out. Does he have a limit? He doesn't go beyond about 70 pitches, 75 maybe. Full count to Altuve. Come on, Altuve. I believe in you. Here's the pitch. Right center field. Is it going to be down? Butler makes a diving catch. Tram tags up. He's going to go for third. Tram had to go back to second. Altuve almost had a hit there to right center field. Lawrence Butler makes the diving catch. Trammell had to go back to second and tag. Astros could have had a run on the board, but once again we have a runner on third, and that is going to be the last batter for Ginn. Well, now it looks like they're having a discussion. It's not sure they're going to pull him out. Oh, they're not going to pull him out. They're not going to pull him out. They're going to keep him in. Oh, okay. So the manager just came out to talk with him to see if he wanted to stay in, see how he felt. Victor Caratini at the plate. All right, here we go. 2 outs. They were just discussing the new pitcher, Michael Kelly, with Caratini. But they switched it up and kept Ginn in. So Caratini's going to have to switch back to his Ginn mode. Low, ball 1. The Tram is on third base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Victor Caratini, the Batman, at the plate, batting lefty against the righty. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, low and outside, and the count is even, 1-1. Yeah, that's right. They went all the way out to the mound, Mark. That's right. This guy's the Batman. I heard that the bat got him. Pitcher says, there ain't no bat. Here's the pitch. Well, check swing, and that bounces off his bat. 1-2. That would be actually a funny edit to make, where they go out to the mound. Victor Caratini's at the plate. Manager says, what's the problem? Pitcher says, I heard that the bat got him. Manager says, there ain't no bat. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Caratini. He swings on a terrible pitch, low and outside. Caratini looking more like Robin. Now, of course, this is the best start of his career. The first time he's ever pitched 6 innings of shutout baseball. The first time ever. The first time ever in his career. 6 out, 6 innings, shutout. First time. And it's in Game 4 against the Astros, where they're about to get swept. They're in threat of getting swept. They've lost 3 in a row. And now, in Game 4, their starting pitcher, the A's starting pitcher, has a 6-inning shutout. It's the first of his career. Of course! Why not? Home run records for the A's, pitching records for the A's. Why not? Just give them the whole kit and caboodle. Jordan, that's an easy one. Why do I call Caratini Batman? Well, it's for a variety of reasons, but it started with the main reason, which is that he looks like Ben Affleck to me. The first time I saw him, the very first time I saw him while I was doing live play-by-play, I saw him up close, and I was like, man, he looks like Ben Affleck. And then the thought occurred to me about him being Batman, right? But they came out with a movie called The Batman, and sometimes in the comics they don't just call him Batman, they call him The Batman. And so I started calling Caratini the Batman, because obviously he plays baseball, he bats, he looks like Ben Affleck, who is the Batman, and he's also a switch hitter. So it kind of all just fits, in my mind it just kind of fits. Even though he has been on a slump the past few days. He was hot in July. He was really, really burning it up. Luis Contreras back on the mound facing, looks like Colby Thomas. Yeah, that's right. Alfred needs to do a little adjustment there. Here's the next pitch. 90 miles an hour low for ball 1. Alfred, a.k.a. the hitting coach, right? Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. Ball 2. 2-0. Yeah, Crispy, the pitcher for the A's, man, he even looked sad at some points. He looked like just really let down and sad, like he'd given up on life, and he was just mowing the Astros down, basically. Swing and a miss for strike 1 against Cortez. 2-1 is the count. Cortez is actually pinch hitting for Thomas. Thomas was pulled. Just FYI. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. High. Four-seam fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Foul tip strike caught by Caratini. Contreras picks up another strikeout. Cortez goes down, 1 away. That's pretty interesting, Jordan, about the Pollock Rose soup. After eating the soup, you felt strong and invincible. I bet. It's one thing they know how to do in Japan is make some really good food. I'm not a seafood fan per se, but I can tell you this much. Here in Hiroshima, one of the famous local foods is fried oysters. And I have to say, my whole life I've hated oysters. But when I tried them here, the fried oysters, oh my gosh, they are really good. 91 high, swing and a miss. Schumann has a strikeout and a line out today. He's on the verge of another strikeout with this 0-2 count against Contreras. Here comes the pitch. The 0-2. Check swing on the outside. He does not go around. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There are a few famous foods around here in Hiroshima. One of those is called okonomiyaki. Japanese style pancake with noodles, with pasta and some other stuff. Broken bat right to Contreras, and he nabs it. Fires it over to first base. Good defensive play there. 2 away. Take a look at that replay. Nice nab on the short hop. Luis Urias at the plate. Just a little outside, but called strike 1 by the ump. 0 for 2 today is Urias with 2 lineouts. 2 away, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Fouled off, 90 miles an hour. Right in the middle of the zone. The count is 0-2. Top of the 7th, 1 strike away from the Astros. Back up at the Plizate. In this next inning, Christian Walker to lead it off for the Astros in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Contreras. Urias swings and grounds it straight to Dubon, who fires over to first base. No problem. Out number 3. 3 up and 3 down again. Nice couple of innings by Contreras. If he were a Happy Meal, I'd be loving it. Christian Walker, John Singleton, Cam Smith. That's our lineup to start the bottom of the 7th, guys. We got 3 more innings of ball. Cat women. Yeah, we're going to have to start waking up. I say we have to wake up starting now. No waiting. We can't hit the snooze on the next 3 innings, Jordan. Come on now. Don't give up. Don't give up. There's a guy in the stands wearing all Philly stuff. Why? Why is there a guy in the stands wearing all Philly stuff at the game? That's kind of crazy. Strange. I'm in Houston. I'm gonna go to an Astros A's game and wear a Phillies jersey and a Phillies hat. I don't quite understand that. Mark asks, I think you said one time before your name was Brandon. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. That's the name my parents gave me. Jordan, you really like that soup. Eat a bowl of that soup, I can mow the whole yard. Well, you know what? If you want to come to Japan, you can stay at my house for free if you mow my yard. But you're not going to be able to use a push mower. You have to use a trimmer. Too many stones and rocks and that sort of thing. That's the thing about living in Japan. You live in a typical countryside home with a yard. You're going to have tons of stones and rocks. And I mean, my house, heck, my house even has broken tiles and stuff because I've got like 5 buildings here. And one of those buildings has collapsed. Those heavy tiles on the roof, those have fallen off. They're freaking everywhere. Every time, it seems like no matter how many I pick up, every time I go cut in the yard, boom, bam. You know, I wear these leg protectors. I wear long pants. I wear boots. I wear long sleeve shirt, gloves, eye protection. But I had to buy this. It looks like a beekeeper's mask or something. It's a screen that you put over your face, and to protect your face and everything from all this debris when you're cutting with the trimmer, because man, there's so much debris, so much stuff. I've broken 2 windows in my house, but then again, these windows here are so old, you know, it doesn't take much to crack them or break them. I didn't even realize I'd cracked and broke them, so I had to learn to be more careful when I was trimming. It's ridiculous. Nice to meet you too, Mark. Nice to meet your username. Yeah, absolutely. Let's win. The Rangers winning 8-1 in the 5th. I wouldn't say that we're letting them catch up, but they are catching up a little bit. If we lose this game, they will catch up a little bit. They are showing highlights from an Astros rally where the Astros are down 5-0 versus the Dodgers last year, July 27th, exactly a year ago. Five to nothing, they came back and won. Christian Walker at the plate, fouls that first pitch off. Jack Perkins in the game now for the A's. Here's the next pitch to Walker on that outside edge, but called a ball. Wow. Surprising. Shocking. Here comes the next pitch to Walker, the 1-1. 86 miles an hour on that outside edge, swing and a miss. A little tip into the glove of the catcher. 1-2 is the count. We definitely need a comeback to get us going. An e-bike. I have a bicycle and a car. Whoa, up and in, almost hit him in the face. 97 miles an hour gave Walker a shave, and he's nodding like, okay, all right. That's okay, I can accept that. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the toss. In the dirt. 87 mile per hour Swiffer. Walker doesn't go after it. Full count. Walker seems like the type of baseball player where if a guy throws a fastball up and in and accidentally hits him in the head, he'll get up like, it's okay, it's baseball, you know, I get it. 97 fouled off. A little too far inside. Hits it off the fists. We're going to have another full count pitch. Here comes the 3-2. Ground ball to shortstop. He scoops it up, fires over to first base. It's high. Look at that. Christian Walker ran really hard to first base, and it's a good thing he did, because when it was thrown over to first base, look at this. He just put his head down, didn't even look, just ran, and he beat it out because the throw was too high. Barely able to get on there in time. Good hustle. We have a runner on first base with John Singleton at the plate. No outs. 87 inside and low. Swing and a miss by Big John. Big John with a big swing. Produces a big nothing. 0-1. He does have a single. 1 for 2 today. How about a 2 for 3 with a homer? With an epic bat flip to boot. Let's see it. Here's the 0-1 and opposite field. He stumbles. They're going to have to go to first base, and they get him at first base. They were not able to get him at second. Man, a couple of little boo-boos. The error on the throw to first base with Walker, and then the stumble, the slip on the dirt right here. He couldn't go to second. Barely got him at first base. Astros getting some luck here. Cam Smith at the plate, runner on second, 1 away. Here's a pitch. Opposite field, foul ball, strike 1. Black Magic. Oh man, I used to use Black Magic on the tires and the dash of my car a long time ago. I haven't seen that stuff in decades. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And the dirt outside. Good stop by the catcher. Somehow he stopped the Swiffer from getting through. Cam Smith still batting .323 with runners in scoring position overall. He was up to about .380. He has slipped a little bit. Here's the 1-1 pitch. 89 miles an hour. Swing. That was more of a half swing. 1-2. Charlie Hustle. Here's a pitch. He hits this one out to right field, shallow right field. First baseman calls it, but then the second baseman calls it off, and he's got it for out number 2. Walker stays on second base. Yeah, if there was no evidence of him betting on anything related to what he was doing, then they should not have kept him out of the Hall of Fame, especially since betting is all legal right now. 97 miles an hour on the outside edge. Called a ball. Cooper Hummel at the plate. We don't ask for much, Hummel. Just a decent hit to drive in a run. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 97 mile per hour fastball, missing by a couple of inches. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny if we found out that the A's had a bunch of corked bats and the pitchers were putting stuff on the ball? That'd be funny. They wipe out the whole series. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. 97 right in the zone. 2-1 is the count. Jordan, the vast majority of Japan is mountainous, so everywhere you go it is hilly. That pitch is high and outside for ball 3. 3-1 to Cooper Hummel. Jack Perkins on the mound with 2 outs and a runner on second. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the toss. Right in the top of the zone for strike 2. Hummel started to take his leg guard off, but he should have known that was a strike. How can you not swing at that? A 3-1 pitcher's, a hitter's count right in the top of the zone. Why not swing? Here's a pitch. Now that is a ball. That's the one that you don't swing at. 98 way above the zone. That was about a foot and a half above the zone. Hummel goes to first base. And Mauricio Dubon comes to the plate with runners on the corners. A 3-run homer in the Crawford boxes. Dubon has one nice rip today that was stolen from him. It would be nice to see him get one here into the Crawford boxes, bring us within one. Here's the first pitch. Opposite field, right field, and it's going to be playable by the right fielder. And he catches it easily right there by the foul line for out number 3. Dubon goes down. So one hit. Nope, sorry. Not a hit. One base runner. Leads to nothing for the Astros. Unfortunately. One error, rather. One man left on in the bottom of the 7th. The Astros are still scoreless through 7 innings. They're being shut out here in Game 4. I will say that I considered for a little while yesterday, do I really need to get up and call a Game 4? Do I really need to get up at 2 a.m. and call a 3 a.m. game? The Astros have lost 3 terribly. They haven't shown any signs of winning on offense or defense. And so I could get up and watch the Astros get swept at 3 in the morning, or I could just turn off my alarm and sleep in. And I said, no, I have to do it. I have to do it. And here we are, 4-0, going into the top of the 8th. Astros are down with just 3 hits, getting shut out. Absolutely insane, isn't it, guys? Unbelievable, right? But you're right, Daryl. Japan is a nice place. I've been living here now for about 5.5 years. I came here right before the pandemic started. I was living in Tokyo for about a year, but I had to leave there because my job immediately was canceled, essentially. I was teaching business English with groups in person, but because of the pandemic, that all got shut down. I left and I went to Hiroshima, and I've been here ever since. For about 4 years, I've been here in Hiroshima. 4.5. Caleb Bort is on the mound now for the Stros. Contreras is done with his day. He's going to be facing Tyler Soderstrom to start it off. Looks like Soderstrom is pinch hitting for Andahar. Strike 1. Here comes a pitch in the dirt. Ball 1. 1-1 is the count. Jordan says he's too old for the hills after those COVID shots. Well, in the cities, it's not a big deal. They put the cities mostly in the flatter areas, so it's not too bad. Fouled off for strike 2. 1-2 is the count. They've got a lot of great public transportation in the city, so you don't have to worry about that. I live in the countryside, so I need a car to get around. Mark is mentioning a minor league news article. Low and inside for ball 2. The count's even. Melton and 2 minor league prospects were being dangled to several teams for a serviceable third baseman and utility infield outfielder, preferably left-handed hitting. As long as it's not a mid player, tired of getting mid players. If they can get 3 mid players versus one really good player who's having a good year, I prefer the latter. I either want an ace pitcher or I want a really good hitter with a good glove. 89 miles an hour outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. They were just talking to Brad Lidge on the phone. I haven't seen that name in a long time. Brad Lidge. Pretty cool. Caratini comes out to the mound to have a little visit with Ort. They're going to have a little discussion about this 3-2 pitch. Hey, listen, I'm tired of dealing with this guy already, so can I, like, just walk him or something? Yeah, if that's what you want to do. Okay, thanks. There are a lot of rumors going around right now, Mark. You never know. I've seen so many rumors. There were also a couple of articles that I thought were really stupid. It's like they were trying to force the Astros, trying to get in the Astros' ear to make trades they shouldn't be making. This one's out to left field, taken in by Dubon. Little soft fly ball. I don't know what they discussed, but that worked out. Out number 1. Lawrence Butler comes to the plate. Seven pitches now for Ort. Here comes the 8th. Right in the top of the zone. The Swiffer. Strike 1. Jordan wants to keep Melton. Yeah. Chris says, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. That's true. Soft ground ball to Altuve at second base. Altuve hasn't had to do much at second base today. Haven't seen many go to him. But he handles that one no problem. The soft ground ball. Butler goes down, out number 2. Brent Rooker comes to the plate. 2 up and 2 down for Ort with a soft fly. Soft grounder. Looking good so far. 9 pitches. Here's the pitch. This is grounded up the middle, straight to Altuve. Throws it over to first. Perfect. Out number 3. Perfect inning there. Altuve had a little role to play there. Ort with a soft fly. 2 soft grounders. That was a great looking inning right there. Astros relievers are looking so nice today. You know, even though Gordon gave up 4 runs, I'm not going to blame him for today's loss. If this is the way it ends, if we lose without giving up more than 4 runs, then I blame just the bats. Just the bats. Because we should my viewpoint is that the Astros, even with this lineup, there's no reason for us to be at 0 runs, but I feel like we should have the ability to score 4 runs against this team. So right now this game should be tied, or at least by the end of the 9th it should be tied. So if they lose 4-0 or 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, etc., then I blame the bats, not the pitching. Because I think that they can and should get at least 4 runs. Zach Short is due up at the plate in just a moment in the bottom of the 8th, followed by Taylor Trammell and Jose Altuve. Cavan Biggio? Is that how you're talking about, Daryl? Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think that he just got optioned back down to the minors, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at the transactions. Actually, let me take a look at the transactions. I've got a link on the transactions. Let's see if the Astros are doing anything today. Astros haven't done anything today. But I believe that Biggio, a couple of days ago, Biggio was moved to the minors. Yeah. Yeah, 2 days ago, They designated Cavan Biggio for assignment. The Royals. So there you go. There's your answer. Yeah, I can remember stuff sometimes. I can't believe I remember that. But his name stuck out on the screen whenever I was looking at the team transactions. I saw, oh, Biggio. Outside, 86 miles an hour to Zach Short. Whoops. While I was looking that up, apparently there are a few pitches. I'm sorry about that, guys. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Zach Short. My bad. Sorry about that. Here's the pitch. This goes up the middle. Soft hit. Short runs his butt off, but he's not able to beat it out. That's 1 out. The Tram is back up in just a moment. He had a double. That last pitch. It's so sad that Tram had that great energetic double. Tried to get the crowd into it, you know, to get them riled up. Looking out to right field, looking out to center field, saying, let's crank it up. And then it just died after that. 95 at the very top of the zone. A little high, but strike 1. Jack Perkins still on the mound. 25 pitches now. He should have some good success against this pitcher, I think. Outside, ball 1. Yeah, you're right, Jordan. If Fromber walks, we don't get anything for him, but I'd like to sign him, to be honest. 97 too far inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. I wish that they would actually negotiate with Fromber right now. Because the thing about Fromber is he's a special pitcher. He's gotten better. People used to talk about all the time, and sometimes they still try to bring up people getting into his head. But when was the last time that actually happened? I haven't seen that this year because he's gotten over that. Swing and a miss. 98 miles an hour right in there. Full count. He is a ground ball pitcher, a strikeout pitcher. I mean, he can strike them out, ground out, gets lots of double plays. We need him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Tram goes down. So the Tram does not leave the station at this at bat. 1 away and then 2 away. And we are 1 away from going into the 9th inning. Jose Altuve with 2 away comes to the plate. Man, just Altuve, just give us 1 home run. Just give us something to cheer about right here. 87 on the Swiffer, swing and a miss. Here's the pitch. On that outside edge, strike 2, 0-2 to Altuve. Well, Jordan, they've got the subway trains, the above ground trains, the one-way trains and shuttles from the airport. They've got all sorts of stuff. Hey, Altuve sends it into center field. He's got a single up the middle. It's the start of the comeback. It's a 2-out comeback in the 8th inning, guys. All right. Caratini comes to the plate with Altuve on first. 2 outs. Yeah, you know, I actually live right beside a small mountain and kind of a valley, and I'm surrounded by rice fields. Small mountains and rice fields. Caratini hits to the center field, and that's going to be another base hit. Back to back. Altuve holds up at second base. 2 runners on with Christian Walker at the plate. How about that? The Batman. First it's Altuve. Then it's the Batman. They're going to have a little chit chat with Perkins on the mound. But yeah, the capsule rooms are nice. They don't have them just in Tokyo. They have some really nice capsule hotels here in Hiroshima. Very cheap too. Maybe about on some nights about $21, $22 for one night. Very quiet, very cheap, very nice. I've been to that particular one several times. Where my house is located, Jordan, here in this valley next to the mountain, I don't get the really early morning sun, and I don't get the really late afternoon or late evening sunset. Walker hits the first pitch way up in the air into right field, flies out. So that ends the Astros bid for a run on the very first pitch. Can you believe that? I can. 5 hits. Now check out this data, okay? 1 error for the A's, 6 hits, 4 runs. The Astros, no errors, 5 hits, 0 runs. Not a single run. And check this out. You're not going to believe this. This is crazy. 5 hits. Number 1 batter, number 2 batter, number 3 batter, number 4 batter, number 5 batter are each guy has 1 hit. Trammell, Altuve, Caratini, Walker, and Singleton, our first 5 batters have the only hits. So the top of our batting order has these hits. But we weren't able to turn any of that into a run. So sad. Too bad, so sad. But you know, I have another YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's about my house here in Japan. And if you want to see what my house looks like and see some of the stuff I've been up to, I can show you. If I can actually open the link. There it is. Okay. Yeah, there it is. This has been my main channel, my main YouTube channel for a while. It's got around 3,000 subscribers, but it stalled when I went into the hospital. Almost 2 years ago. Or about 2 years ago now, actually, with a blood clot in my leg. I was in the hospital for 2 months. And after that, I wasn't able to do anything. Okert is in the game facing Shea Langoliers. The first pitch is a swing and miss for strike 1. A little bit of fried Okert going on. Here comes the next pitch to Langoliers, the 0-1. This is grounded up the middle, backhanded by Altuve, but there's no throw there. Infield hit for Langoliers. Lead off base runner. But some of my subscribers who followed my other channel, they've actually come to visit me here in Japan several times. Friends from Sweden, from Australia, several friends from Australia. Friends from America, friends from Germany, friends from all over the world have come to visit me, visit my house, help me out. Even friends from China, Korea. I've had several people connect with me through my YouTube channel and come visit, help do some cleanup around here. There's always more stuff to do. There's so much stuff to do, you wouldn't believe it. 1 ball, 1 strike. With that foul ball, Austin wins at the plate. 1 runner on, no outs for Stephen Okert. How about a nice double play ball here? Get us out of this inning. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 78 miles an hour. Of course, a double play would not get us out of the inning. We still need 3 outs, but it would be helpful and put us well on our way to getting out of the inning, that's for sure. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Runner runs. Runner runs because that's what runners be doing. Runner's going to run, but he has to go back. Foul ball. 1-2, the count stands. Yeah, Altuve's been kind of quiet in this series. He hasn't done too much. Just very, very quiet. But then again, most of the Astros have been that way. Line drive foul into the net over there on the left side. And all the kids are fighting. They're literally fighting over the ball there. Man, that looked greedy. Trying to wrestle the ball away from each other. Talk about greedy. Somebody needs to teach them kids some lessons. Teach them some manners. Here's another 1-2 pitch. Nope. Okert goes over to first base instead. Disengagement. Yeah, Biggio has not been impressive, Jordan. Cavan Biggio. That's a single up the middle into center field. We now have runners on first and second with no outs. Okert starting to give up some hits. I really do hope Trammell can turn into a really solid hitter. You know, if Trammell can keep his batting average always above 250, always above 250, I'll be happy. But I would much prefer to see him consistently hitting 275. That's what I want. Here's the pitch. Bunt. Urshela shows bunt. Pulls back and takes the strike. Good job. That's what I'd like to see right there. Yeah, we do have too many guys. Astros used to be one of the most patient teams at the plate, but now they've got several players that swing on first pitches. 0-2 now is the count to Urshela. 10 pitches for Okert. Runners on first and second. Here comes the toss. No, he comes off the rubber. Fakes a throw to second base. That'll reset the clock. Yeah, Jordan, I replied. I saw your email. Thank you. I replied to you. Here's a pitch. Fouled out of play. The count stays 0-2. Fromber says they haven't even tried to talk to him since signing the $18 million arbitration contract. I wouldn't doubt it. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Swing and a miss. Urshela goes down on, well, it wasn't just 3 pitches, but no balls. Some foul balls. There you go. Steven serves up some fried Okert. 9 strikeouts for the Astros pitchers today. Carlos Cortez comes to the plate. Here's the pitch. Hit up the middle, and that's going to get through. They hold up, so they're not going to score. 3 hits this inning. 3 singles. Bases are loaded with 1 out. All we need is a double play to end this day. That's the thing, Jordan, what you said about the translation. That's my problem with the information coming out of Yordan, because I haven't actually seen a recording or seen any Spanish text directly from Yordan, and so I can't try to find a better translation. All I have to go on is their translation, and what he says doesn't make a lot of sense. It's like a puzzle, trying to figure out a puzzle, you know? On the outside edge, strike two. Schumann at the plate, down in the count 0-2. Here comes the toss. He hits this one foul down the first baseline, and the count stays 0-2. You're about to watch The Accountant? I just watched that a few weeks ago for the first time. It's not bad. High and outside. I used to not like Affleck at all when he was younger. But as he's gotten older, I've liked him a little bit more. I've begun to like him as he's grown up. When he was a young man, I didn't like him as much. Here's the pitch. 1-2, check swing. Did he go? They say no. No, he did not go. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Okert. We got bases loaded in the top of the 9th. Chances are slim for a comeback. But if you give up some runs, all you're going to do is make it a little harder, a little more impossible. Not just impossible, but really impossible. Turbo impossible to come back. Wanda from In Living Color. This team's so crazy. Right now, that's true. Jordan, I can highly recommend that you do the vitamin D3 thing, but you need to look into it, because if you can possibly get some sun in the middle of the day, lay out. That's all you got to do every day for about 15 minutes. Just lay out in the sun with some shorts on. That's it. Give it a try, man. Fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Schumann. Ogre trying to say shoo, man. Shoo, 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 go away. You're right, Jordan. If the Tram bets 275, he'd be a star in my book. Here's the pitch. That's roped into left field. Now the Astros are going to be down at least another run, if not 2. They're going to wave him in. Yep, 2 runs. 6-0 A's. This game is definitely over now. 2-run single by Schumann. Okert gives it up on the 2-2 pitch. The A's have now scored over 30 runs against the Astros in 4 games. Averaging 8 runs per game against the Astros. Astros have scored less than 2 runs per game. First pitch out of the zone for ball 1 to Luis Arias. 2 runners on, first and second with 1 out. Okert steps off the mound. Yeah, that's right. Gordon Ramsay, get him in the dugout. 91 on the top of the zone. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Can you guys believe that the Astros have scored, what, six runs in this whole series? And the A's have scored 31, I believe. 31 runs. That's nuts. Here's the pitch. That's going to be another run. It's roped into center field. Tramel's throw is useless. 7-0. They're just getting... It's more batting practice, just like the other day. It's just batting practice right now. Go ahead and pull Okert. Put Hummel back in there. Let him get the final 2 outs. Come on, seriously, though. Pull Okert. And right on cue, Miller is coming out. They're going to pull Okert. They got to pull Okert. It's useless now. They're down 7-0. It's useless. Hey, listen, you did your best. We don't need you. We don't need anything. 7-0. The Astros have looked like hot garbage this series, haven't they? It's difficult to take, but just gonna have to grin and bear it. You know what, guys? You got to look at it through a different perspective. Let me give you a little perspective here. My family turned their back on me a long time ago. I left the U.S. after a divorce, and I had my daughter taken away. My daughter and I were like this. We were super close. She cried on the phone to me every day, wanting me to come pick her up, bring her home when she was about 7 years old. I couldn't do it because the judge gave her to my wife. That's part of the reason why I left the U.S. This is hit hard to right field all the way out of the wall. Might be gone. It's to the track. Oh, it's caught by Cam. Woo, right at the track. Runner tags and goes to third. So we have runner on first and third with 2 outs. The field just big enough to hold that ball. Soderstrom goes down and Butler comes to the plate. But you know, growing up, my family just abused me. My wife abused me. Then she took my daughter away, crushed my heart. I went into the hospital for several months because I injured myself. I'm not ashamed to say that. I was so depressed. Everybody was against me. Low and inside. There's a reason I'm telling you this. Stick with me here. 0-1 is the count to Butler. 2 outs, runners on the corners. 0-1 pitch on the way. Right on the outside lower edge, but called a ball. 1-1 is the count. I was injured so bad from what I did to myself that I had to stay in the hospital with major surgery for a couple of months, and then they kept me for another couple of months to make sure I was mentally okay because I was so depressed. High. 2 balls, 1 strike. When I got out of the hospital, I lost my house. I lost my car. Of course, I couldn't work. I was in terrible condition. It took me more than a year to be able to move around a little bit, you know. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Because I was without work for so long, I was able to go back to school and get some Pell Grants, get my degree, finish my degree at the university. Butler hits that to short. Short throws it over to first base, and he barely gets the third out there. Thank goodness the inning is over. But 3 more runs given up by Okert. 7-0 going into the bottom of the 9th. Astros with 1 more opportunity to come back, and we've got 7 runs to make up. Anyway, all this stuff that I'm telling you about happened back in 2007, just a few days before Christmas. A few months later, I finally got out of the hospital. A year after that, I was moving around a little better. Went back to the university, finished my degree. 2012, I left America. Wasn't able to see my daughter really at all. Supervised once a week for 2 hours. My ex-wife turned my daughter against me. She started treating me like trash, talking to me like I was trash. So everybody in my family, including my own daughter, turned on me. I became the 100% full-time garbage can for my sister, my brother, my dad, and then my daughter, and I couldn't take that. Left the U.S., moved to China, spent about 7.5 years, or around 7 years there. Now I've been in Japan for 5 years. I finally got to where I wanted to be, which is Japan. As soon as I got here, the pandemic started. Had to spend almost $20,000 of my savings. We're on break right now, by the way. Bottom of the 9th coming up in just a minute. I was trying to win my daughter back, and I thought I could partially do that by helping her out with finances. So I was giving her $300 to $400 a month every month, even though I didn't have work during the pandemic. But she was at university. My mom and dad never gave me even $5 for anything. So I was trying to do the opposite. But it didn't work. She just had less and less respect for me. Still treated me like garbage. Never called me. Birthdays, holidays, Father's Day, nothing. And finally I didn't have any more money to give her. And when I stopped sending her money, she literally started making posts on YouTube about what a horrible father I was. Didn't say anything about the money. She just talked about what a horrible father I was, and she made up a bunch of stuff to deface me. I haven't talked to my daughter in over 2 years. She's going to be 25 soon. I don't know where she's at or what she's doing. Ben Bowden is on the mound facing Chas McCormick now. McCormick filling in for Singleton. He fouls the first pitch off for strike one. Anyway, I finally started working again in Hiroshima. And after just a little over a year, I found out I had cancer. Started bleeding. Couldn't take more than about 15 steps without running out of breath. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not too long after that, I had a blood clot in my leg that caused my girlfriend to break up with me. She couldn't bear being with a guy who had cancer, so she left me. At that point, I became all alone again. I've had 2 close friends leave me this year. Why am I telling you all this? Do you really think that if the Astros lose a series to the A's, I really care that much? That's ripped to left field. Chas almost gets the hit down, just barely foul into the corner. Good rip. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs. Chas, the leadoff batter here, pinch hitting for Singleton. I just wanted to share that with you guys because this is just a game. And what the Astros do, there are going to be down times. That's low. Speaking of down, that's down. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chas. Sometimes it looks like things suck really bad and it's over. It's all over. And it's looked like that so many times for me, I've lost count. Chas hits it hard to left field all the way out to the wall. It's going to bounce off the wall. Extra bases for Chas. He rolls into second base with a double. How about that? We got ourselves another leadoff double. In the bottom of the 9th. Nice. High fastball. Punished it. The Punisher, baby. Frank Castle at the plate. If you guys don't know who Frank Castle is, you're not as cool as I am. Do any of you know who Frank Castle is? You should. I gave you a big hint a moment ago. Cam Smith at the plate. Here's the toss. In the dirt. Ball 1. Anyway, last year in April, my doctor told me that he thinks I have 1 to 2 years left to live. If I'm lucky, 4 to 6 years. If I'm super lucky, 8 to 10, but that's with medicines and treatments and surgeries. Cam Smith hits this one in the air. It's going to be a fly out to shortstop unless he makes an error. He does not. That's out number 1. Cam goes down. He's 0 for 3 today. Cooper Hummel comes to the plate. Maybe some of you out there, if you've had the kind of health problems that I've had, you feel the same way. But there have been so many times where I just wanted to lie down, even on the concrete. It just looked so comfortable to lie down and become somebody else's problem. Swing and a miss, 93 on the inside. I'm not joking. The thought crossed my mind so many times. I don't want to try anymore. Just want to lie down and let the police come get me and take me to the hospital and then just shut down. Low and inside. 1-1 to Hummel. I'm serious when I say that I can't count how many times that's happened since I've had this illness, this cancer situation. It's been over 3 years now. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hummel. I told you all of that because the Astros are the only sports team that I follow so closely. The only professional team I follow so closely. And they're going to go through crap like they're going through right now. Hummel fouls that one into the crowd. The count remains 1-2. So that's the main reason I can't accept people coming into the chat and dropping their negative SH you know what in my chat. I have no room for that in my life. So they can kiss my butt. Fouled off again by Hummel. What the Astros are going through right now is absolutely nothing compared to what I've seen. It's nothing. These guys, I think they're doing their best. And that's all I can ask. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. This is hit into center field. Butler's going to go back. We might see a tag here. And we do. McCormick easily gets over to third base. Butler makes the throw, but it's sadly way too late. There's no way. 2 outs. Hummel goes into the dugout. Once again, we have a runner on third. Are we going to manage to get at least 1 run? Let's see what Doobie has to say about that. I'm considering looking for somebody else to take over my channel in case I need to, but I haven't given up yet. 82 miles an hour right in there. Strike 1. The house that I live in, by the way, is a lot like me. It has some serious foundation issues, and it needs to be repaired as soon as possible. In the dirt, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Doobie, what are you doing? What are you doing, Doobie? That slider was dirty, dirty, dirty. 0-2 is the count with 2 outs. Runner on third. Give us 1 run, Doobie. Come on. Just 1 little run. Like, was it Jordan that said that earlier? Just give us 1. Who said just give us 1? Just that 1 run. In the dirt again. This time he does not swing. Caesar, you're right. It's the Punisher. Good on you. Frank Castle, the Punisher himself. Absolutely. Good on you. I read a lot of the Punisher when I was a kid. Here's the pitch. Dubon hits it into left field. Is it going to get down? Yes! Thank goodness gracious! Dubon into left field. The Astros score a run in the 9th inning. And Doobie. Woohoo! How about that? Mauricio Dubon with a single in the 9th inning. 7-1. The Astros mount their comeback. 83 mile per hour slider right inside, all the way out to left field to the wall. Yeah, look at that. He blew the shutout. That's right. That's what you get. You deserve it. A double for Doobie. A Doobie double. Yainer Diaz is pinch hitting. He's going to be in for short. Here comes the pitch. This is hit into center field. That's probably going to be out. Number 3 is right to Butler, and he catches it like he doesn't care. Unprofessionally, as always. But yes, I asked for and I received. Just give us 1. Just give us 1, and we got it. 7-1. Good job, Astros. Good job, Doobie. The Doobie double. How about that? Chas McCormick coming up with the hit in the 9th inning, and then Doobie coming up with the double to give us a run. 7 hits for the Astros, 1 run. 11 hits for the A's, 7 runs. Astros lose this game, but you know what? It wasn't a shutout. We ruined the shutout with 2 outs in the 9th inning. That's got to really upset a bunch of people. So we didn't win, but at least at the very end, we stuck it to them. It's kind of like 2 guys having a sword fight, right? And one guy is just destroying the other guy, and the other guy is about to die, and he's lying there, and he's taking his last breath, and the other guy leans close to him, and right before the loser dies, he jabs the other guy right in the eye. That's exactly what the Astros just did. They just jabbed the A's in the eye before they died in this series. Take that. Yes, you killed me, but I'm going to take your eye. Boom. That was hilarious. We're going to take a really quick look. I didn't read the comments there. I was too busy sharing some stuff with you guys and gals, but I hope that it helps you somehow. You really don't understand how important it is that we control our emotions. There is a guy, a Japanese guy, that died not too long ago, but he did some really important work. His name is Dr. Emoto, and he talked about how our words and our intentions actually affect water molecules. And he did a lot of really interesting experiments where if you take water and you freeze it, you look at the crystals. If you look at the water that has been talked to in a very lovingly way, very loving way, and you look at the water that was talked to in a very harsh way, then you'll see that the water that was talked to harshly is malformed. All of the crystal shapes are distorted and malformed, but the water that was talked to in a loving way is symmetrical and beautiful. So think about that. Most of our body is made up of liquid, right? Of water. You can imagine what our negative thoughts and our negative emotions and our negative words are doing to our lives. It's making us sick. It's destroying our body. That's why I can't allow, I can allow some criticism and stuff like that. Constructive criticism is okay. But at this point in my life, I just can't allow garbage around me anymore, and that includes my chat. But I'm protecting you guys too. Yeah, take that, you filthy A's. A little bit of a scoring summary. The A's scored on a homer twice in the first inning to jump out to a 2-0 lead. Urshela got a sacrifice fly in the fourth to score another one. Thomas doubled to center to score another one in the fourth. Schumann singled to left, scored 2 guys in the ninth. And then again in the ninth, Urias singled to score another one. The Astros were down 7-0, and finally, Doobie with the double to left field off the wall, scoring McCormick, and we got a run on the board. Woohoo! The Astros are, I believe, 61-47. I'm sorry, 60. Is it 1646 or 1647? I don't know if it's updated yet on the board. But unfortunately, right now, they allow a little bit of gaining. I think the Rangers won, so the Rangers have gained on us a little bit. Let's take a look right quick at what's going on in the league. Tomorrow's game is going to be against the Nationals, and I'll be live streaming that game too, so I'll see you tomorrow for that game. But let's take a quick look at around the league. Yeah, the Rangers are winning 8-1 over the Braves in the 8th. They got that game wrapped up. They're going to move a game closer. The Mariners and the Angels are tied up right now in the 4th inning. Let's hope the Angels can win that game. Anything else going on of note? The Stankies beat the Phillies 4-3. The Blue Jays got whipped by the Tigers. That's fine. Blue Jays are starting to get a little out of control there. Tigers put them in their place today, 10-4. The Guardians, we play tomorrow. They lost 4-1 against the Royals today. Hopefully we have a nice series against the Guardians. We'll see. Maybe we get it turned around. I think we're going to be at home for that series, I think. I don't want to look at that score right there. Forget that score. The Nationals? No, it's not the Guardians. It's the Nationals we're playing, not the Guardians. What was I thinking of that? We're playing the Nationals tomorrow. Bleh. I can't stand the Guardians' name. Let's please change them back to the Indians. The Nationals are who we're playing tomorrow. They won 7-2 over the Twins. Look at that. Hopefully we have better luck with them tomorrow than we had with the A's this whole series. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, kind of scroll through the live chat right quick, see what's going on. I appreciate all of your likes, donations, subscriptions, comments, everything. I really do appreciate all that. I'm gonna. Mm, there we go. Shoot says the laws of averages are catching up to the Astros. Now that's a fair comment. That's a fair comment. Let's see here. D3K2 for when I don't want to play outside. That's right. Getting the vitamin K is very important to get the benefit from D3. You're right about that. I've actually got a big bottle coming in. Should be here in the next couple of days. Really looking forward to that. It's now 6 o'clock in the morning here in Japan. I'm about to go in there and cook myself some bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs, baby. And some butter. The A's should be 20 games in first. Yeah, the way they played this series, they're playing like the first place team. Can you imagine if they came back and took control of the division? That'd be insane. Thank you, Caesar. I don't know why. I think that reconnecting with myself inside, and it's not just me. I think it's everybody, all of us, and our deep connection to our Creator. Remembering that and connecting to that is what keeps me going. It's not me. It's really not me. Because if it were up to me, I would give up. I want to give up. This I guess you could say this human aspect of me wants to give up. The old man, if you are familiar with the old man, the concept of the old man in the Bible, the old man doesn't mean somebody else or some old man. It means your old self, your ego, I guess you could say. In psychology, they would call it like the ego, you know. The ego wants to give up. But the part of me that is resilient is not me. It's something higher than me that's in me. That's what is resilient. So I can't take credit for not giving up. That's right. You don't miss what you never had. Thank you, Crispy. He says it really helps think about life differently. What's important? You're right. It's just a game. Whatever happens, happens. We got to find happiness from within. That's right. And people are being really, really negative and bashing the Astros on the outside. That tells me everything I need to know about the state they live in on the inside. That's the truth. And Jordan says, I guess I'm lucky considering what you went through. I can't handle anything emotionally stressful like that. It was a struggle. But the good thing is that I can say that even though right now I live here alone, I don't have anybody close by. I have only one really close friend, and he's in China. I still talk to him sometimes on video chat, and we stay in touch. But I have nobody here locally. No local friends, no local girlfriend, nothing, and no money. No medicine. Really, I have this old house which needs repairs, and I have my car. I have just enough to get by, just enough to exist. But I can't say that I'm particularly depressed. I'm lucky to be where I'm at right now. I have an opportunity. I have the opportunity to be a living miracle. So we'll see how it goes. Just like the Astros. If the Astros come back from where they are right now, if they can go from where they are and get to the World Series, this will be one of the biggest underdog stories of all time, right? The Astros, a phenomenal franchise, basically a dynasty franchise, struggling so much and going through so much garbage, just nonstop, coming back and winning. Can you imagine them going through all of this? Maybe they'll lose a lot more games. Maybe they'll lose first place. But then they start to come back. They climb the hill. They get back into the playoffs. They scratch and claw and they scrap and they get into the World Series. And somehow they manage to win. If they win this year, it will be I'm telling you guys, this is why I like this year. I'm going to tell you, maybe nobody else has said this. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody else say this. No other Astros channel has said this. But I'll tell you right now, the thought occurred to me recently, and now I'm thinking about it, is this. In 2025, if the Astros are able to go to the World Series and win it, it will be by far the most meaningful championship they've had so far. And it won't even be close. It won't even be close. Hands down, it will be one of the most amazing accomplishments of any major league team in MLB history. And if I can see that, if I can live to see that, and continue to overcome my own crap while the Astros are having to overcome their own crap, to me it's no coincidence that my childhood favorite team, the Astros, are struggling like they are and going through so many injuries, and they're hammered down. And think about this, my favorite freaking player, Jose Altuve, my favorite athlete of all time, such a wonderful guy. Every time he comes to the plate, the freaking boos. It's like there's an ego part of me that doesn't want to have anything to do with that. That's why a lot of fans like people like the Dodgers, or like teams like the Dodgers, and like teams like the Yankees, or like these big market teams, because they're going to pour just tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into their team because they've got this business expectation, this high and mighty, holier than thou, snooty attitude. That's their culture, but that's not the Astros culture. The Astros have always been a I don't want to say struggling, but a scrappy organization that has different values, and I connect with that. And Altuve is a great representative of that to me. But on and off the field, he's wonderful. But just like my house, just like my friendships, just like my health, just like my finances, just like my career, literally everything in my life is like the Astros are right now. They shouldn't be where they are. I shouldn't be where I'm at. I should already be dead. I had a classmate actually get liver cancer about a year and a half ago, and 3 months later he was dead. From the time he found out to the time he died was 3 months. 3 years ago, over 3 years ago, is when I was first diagnosed. But by the time they found it, the tumor was already very large and inoperable. They couldn't operate on it to take it out. And there has been some spread since then. And that's one of the reasons why you guys hear me mute the microphone sometimes to cough, because I have a little bit of irritation in my lungs, and it's from cancer. So when I see people bashing the Astros where they're at, I can't help but think, but this is the way I look at life now. Every little thing I compare it to my life, because I'm deep thinking now. Even when I see a little grasshopper standing up on my shower looking down at me when I'm outside in my outdoor shower, it has meaning to me. And when I see the Astros performing like this, and they've got so many freaking injuries, to me it's not coincidence that this is my team. This team is my team because it's meant for me. And that's the main reason I'm able to do the live play-by-play. I'm not doing the live play-by-play because I love doing live play-by-play. I'm not doing live play-by-play because it's always been my dream. I'm just doing it because there's a resonance there. There's a connection. And I don't know how long I'll do it. Whether I recover my health as planned and become strong, or not. If I don't make it, either or, I don't know what my future plans are to keep doing my channel or not. I do have some deep dreams, things that I really want to do. But the Astros, to me, are like a mirror of my own life right now. And so is my house, so is everything else. So, when you start looking at life as a mirror, yeah, Hulk Hogan passed away recently too. Yeah, that's right. You start looking at things around you as if they're mirrors or they're messages and they're showing you things about yourself and about life, then that's very, very, very important to pay attention to. Anyway, I just felt like sharing that. I really do wish the best for all of you. And for the Astros, tomorrow we have game one starting against the Nationals. And I plan to be here with you guys and gals. I've already got it scheduled. If you haven't already, you can click notify me, and it will remind you maybe about 30 minutes before the game starts. And then when the live stream starts, it will remind you again. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I will take a quick look at the live chat right quick before I go. It looks like I got a couple of questions here. Yeah, Jordan, you said we're not immortal beings. This body is not immortal, but I believe that we are immortal beings. I believe that we're directly connected to God, and we don't die. We just change forms. Astros bats definitely need to step it up, Daryl. I agree. Yep. Playing terrible last 16 games, but still leading the West by 3.5. It's a miracle, all right. Nationals Day tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Yep. It's okay. I think we'll turn it around. We can give it a try. Give it the old college try. Thank you very much, Daryl. I appreciate that. I'm blessed to have you here, actually. I'm very blessed to have all of you here. I know I'm just one guy, and you are many, so I appreciate you all being here to support me in the channel. Yep. Jordan says negative vibrations even by your thinking. You know, you're not negative by nature. Your ego learns negativity, but you can let go of that. Hard life and quit smoking weed 30 years ago, but I'm noticing I feel better when vibration are positive. Absolutely. But you have to control that every single day. Remember in the Bible it talks about dying every day? This is exactly what it's talking about. And I think that they don't explain this in the churches, but dying every day means putting that old man of negativity to rest. It literally is controlling your emotions. I'm not kidding you. Putting the old man to death every day, dying to self every day. It literally means killing the ego every day, not allowing negative viewpoints about yourself and others or other things to ever enter your brain. Because even if you say something really negative about the Astros, oh, this is the worst team right now in MLB, that actually is a mirror for you. You're pointing the finger at yourself. So you must not allow that. You must stop those things. You must. If you don't, you'll continue to exist in a state that's going to cause you some serious consequences. Angelo says, what led you to Japan, if you don't mind sharing? Well, I did share a little bit earlier about that, but the short of it is there are several things about Japan's culture and life here that I like, and whenever I went through just too many years of unsatisfactory events with my family, my wife, my divorce, having my daughter taken away, the court system's failing me, etc., etc., I decided to finish my degree, leave America. And where I wanted to go was Japan. It took me a long time to get here, but here I am. That's the short answer. If you want to go over on my channel, my Kominka channel, the link is in the chat to my other YouTube channel. You can go browse through the videos there. I don't think they're super high quality, but you can learn a little bit about me and what I've been doing over the past several years. Yes, we do got to believe, Daryl, you're right. Houston strong. And even though I'm not in Houston, I still consider myself more of a Houston guy than a Louisiana guy. I mean, I spent most of my life in Louisiana, but when I was a baby, My first memories are living in Houston, and that's why I'm a Houston fan. And I do believe that Houston has the best fan base, but we don't need to turn into the Yankees and the Dodgers fans and start putting expectations and entitlements onto our team. So I can't accept people in my chat who are entitled snobs. You know, that I can name a few, but they are not entitled. They're not snobs. They're just choosing to behave that way. I want to make a distinction there. I'm not calling them names, but I'm saying that they're choosing those states. People choosing to be negative, choosing to be entitled, choosing that. Can't allow that in my life or in my channel. Yep, we have something that other teams don't have. That's why, Crispy, when you made the comment the other day about we have the power of friendship, uh, it's a joke, but there's a lot of truth in it. You know, it reminds me of anime, oddly enough, because in anime they have this thing sometimes where like they wind up winning. You know, they wind up having victory, and why is that? Because they're united in friendship, right? It's kind of a joke, but and maybe it's a little hokey, but the Astros really do have that vibe, and they're able to overcome when they shouldn't. So, you know, it's very special. Altuve does represent that. He really does. He's the heart of that, in my opinion. And Daryl says Jose Altuve hits 2 home runs next game. I look forward to seeing that. You're welcome, Caesar. Thank you for being here. Mercy received. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the donation, the super chat there. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I definitely can use any donations that are sent my way. Trust me, I really can. But even if you guys if you can't afford to support financially, liking and subbing and leaving comments and stuff like that, even these things help my channel. So thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. The Astros are the best anime team. It's funny, I got the idea for doing the anime thing because I'm like, hey, I'm in Japan. You know, why not do something a little interesting, a little different? It was just an idea. It started off very small. If you guys go back and look at my very first videos, completely different. Everything was so simple, so straightforward, and so ridiculous. Just a guy sitting in front of a laptop camera with a really crappy quality stream, and no information on the screen really other than the ESPN scoreboard. Almost nothing. So where I'm at now is all because of you guys. If not for you growing the community, I seriously wouldn't be here. Daryl, I appreciate that. I really do. If you win the lotto, you need to come visit, and I will be more than happy to show you all around Hiroshima. There's some beautiful places here. You'd really love it. Chris asks, am I correct that the Nationals are in last place in their division and we play them next? Let's see. Let's take a look, shall we? I can actually pull it up on the screen for you. Let's take a look at the standings. I didn't mean to pull up this page. Let's do right there, MLB. 6:17 in the morning. I'm still not completely awake, I think. Taking me a moment to think. There are the standings. There are the standings. Nationals, right there. Yes, they're in last place, Chris. You're right. They are 43-62. Winning percentage is .410. They're behind the Braves, the Marlins, the Phillies, and the Mets. 18 games out of first place. They have a -100 run differential, too. They have won a couple of games recently, but I think they They lost this last game, right? The most recent game, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, runs scored, and yeah, their run differential is pretty bad. The Astros run differential is still plus 39, not stellar, but better to be positive than be negative. You know what I'm saying? Dodgers are only plus 66. That's not stellar. They started off gangbusters this year. The only team right now that's looking really, really impressive with their run differential is the Cubs, 116. I mean, the Brewers, 92. They've come on. But it's all good. No problem, Chris. I appreciate you. No, I'm happy to check. No problem. Fred says, I still believe the Astros will continue to surprise once they get some of their starters back. Yeah, that's what I keep telling everybody. I've said it over and over again. We've got several pitchers coming back. We've got Garcia, Arrighetti. What's our other pitcher's name? I'm drawing a blank. My gosh, he's been out so long. I'm sure somebody will say it before I do. But we also have Pena, who's taking some swinging right now in Florida. Who knows about Jordan? I don't know what's going to go on with Jordan. But one of these days, we will have him back. And also Myers will be back soon. So we pepper in a few of these guys, these veterans and proven players, in with just a few of our young guys. I think they'll get inspired. They'll get their second wind. And we'll get a little help from the starters and the bullpen. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely he'll be back. Absolutely. Let's take a look right quick at the Astros injury list here. Javier, that's Christian Javier. That's who I was talking about. Christian Javier had a 2.2 inning rehab start last Thursday. Had a strikeout, 1 earned run on 3 hits, and 2 walks. So. Luis Garcia struck out 2, had 2 perfect innings last Saturday. That is single A. Javier was pitching in triple A. Walter, unfortunately, is out right now with the inflammation in the elbow. Arrighetti threw 62 pitches with double A Corpus Christi on Saturday. 62 pitches. He's starting to get up there. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Guillorme he went 0 for 3. AAA Sugarland Wednesday. Melton will begin rehab assignment at AAA on Thursday. JP France, guys, if you haven't heard that name in a while, he threw 1.1 scoreless innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 walk, struck out 2 in a rehab start Monday. Pena, of course, it says here that he's expected to face live pitching in the coming days, but that was a week ago. I heard in the past couple of days that he was already taking swings, so that's good. Alvarez was approved a week ago to begin hitting slow toss, so there's that. We can't expect Brendan Rodgers to be back anytime soon. He got the concussion and the nose injury, so that's no good. Paredes is on the 10-day injured list, but I haven't heard anything good about his condition, so that's misleading. Now, they said that Myers would be out a minimal of 3 weeks, and that was on July 13th. So that was 2 weeks ago. So maybe at least another 10 days or so. If we're lucky, Myers will be back in about 10 days. Sean Dubin, haven't heard much from him recently, but he has resumed throwing from July 12th in Florida. Zach DeCenzo has not resumed hitting as of July 11th. I haven't heard anything new, so it doesn't look like we're going to get him back anytime soon. Pedro Leon was on rehab assignment, but he was pulled off of that after aggravating his left knee, so he kind of re-aggravated his injury. Man, Blanco with his surgery, I wish him the best, man. I really miss Blanco. That's one guy I wish we had back. He was a workhorse. Loved Blanco. Still love him. Just hope he gets better soon. Wesneski, hope he gets better soon. There we go. Kind of the updates there. I don't even know Glenn Otto. Reassigned to minor league camp. I don't know Glenn Otto. I'm not familiar with him. Well, those are the updates, guys, for the Astros injury list, if you're interested. Hey, Dr. DeLay, how's it going? It's pretty rough for the Astros right now. They're not scoring runs, and they're giving up runs like crazy. But we didn't get shut out today, so there's that. Yeah, that's right, Fred. That's right. Just Javier, Garcia, and Arrighetti working their way back. Just that alone makes me feel really good. Because, you know, I think that out of those three guys, you're going to have at least one who's going to come back and really, really help us out. And that's what we need. We do have a lot of good players, Daryl. You're right. Casey Jones says we need Paredes, Myers, Pena, and Alvarez back. Yeah, but Paredes is going to be a while. We're going to have to wait a while. It looks like, to me, Myers and Pena are going to be the first two back. And then Alvarez will be back. And then at some point after that, Paredes will be back. That's what it seems like. Sounds like the Pirates. But yeah, you guys had some good games. You beat up on a pretty tough team the other day. You did us some favors. The Pirates did. I was very happy to see that. Any trade predictions? Oh, that is one thing I can show you, Crispy, if you guys want to see. I've got some links on my screen here. I got the MLB transactions. See if the Astros have anything new. This lists today's or the most recent transactions. Okay. Okay, there's some news here about the Dodgers. I'm looking at the screen and reading the screen and trying to speak at the same time. Right here, if you see this here, this is about JP France, and this was just released today. The Astros sent JP France on a rehab assignment to the Corpus Christi Hooks. So JP France, that's another pitcher that we have working his way back. That's good news. So it's not just Javier, Garcia, and Arrighetti working their way back. It's also JP France. We could have all these guys before it's crunch time. So that's nice. Don't see any other news about the Astros today. Let's see if there was anything yesterday. I don't think there was any news for the Astros yesterday. Well, there's the news about Garcia on a rehab assignment to the Corpus Christi Hooks. It'd be kind of cool living in Houston just to have the opportunity to go to some of these minor league games. if I were in Houston doing my live streams, I'll tell you what my dream situation would be: to be able to sit in a controlled booth or space calling the games live from the actual icebox, from Daikin Park. But then to have the opportunity to go watch some of these games where we've got some of our rehabbers. How awesome would that be to be able to report live to you guys about our rehabbing Astros? Wouldn't that be awesome? Nobody's doing that. That'd be awesome to do. But right now, I'll just have to settle for looking up the information online and sharing it with you here. Dr. DeLay says we got swept by the White Sox and then swept by Detroit, or then sweep Detroit. Pirates are something else, but that's just baseball. Exactly right. That's exactly right. That sounds just like the Astros. We sweep the Dodgers and we get swept in a 4-game series versus the A's. We hang 18 runs on the Dodgers, and then the A's hang like 15 runs on us. Isn't that crazy? And their rookie hits 4 home runs off of us. And then one of their pitchers today goes 6 innings shutout, the first time in his career he's ever done that. I mean, what's the deal, right? That is literally exactly right. You get it. That's just baseball. That's right. It absolutely is. That's just baseball. There's no getting around it. There's no getting around it. Do you remember that old NFL movie that the title of the movie is a saying that's been used for many, many years, and that's Any Given Sunday, right? That's exactly what we're talking about with baseball. That's just baseball. It's just like saying in football, any given Sunday or any given Saturday. Because anything can happen. Now, we're lucky that we're not a college team, because in college sports, you lose like this to the A's? Can you imagine? If the Astros were ranked number 1 in the nation as a college team, and then they played a series like this and lost to the A's, who are not even ranked, and lost the series, I guarantee you that the Astros would no longer be ranked, and their chances of winning a national title would be 100% gone. 100% gone. You're right. The minor league stuff would be fun, Dr. D. You're right. It would be. But anyway, we're lucky because in these sports, what matters primarily is the wins. And if you're tied with somebody, then, of course, some other statistics matter. But primarily, it's getting that W that's the most important thing. And getting a lot of them. If we get more W's and fewer L's than the next guy, then we're all good. I mean, technically, you could be a 500 team and win your division, right? You could be. Baseball's all about making adjustments. Yeah, it is. And the players, you think about it on a macro level or a micro level, each player is like a team, a microcosm of the team, if you want to put it that way, because players go through the same thing. I like to think of somebody like Yainer Diaz. Yainer Diaz, man, he can get on fire and just start tearing it up, and it's like, holy cow, he's not swinging at crap. He's hitting the ball. He's getting lots of opposite field hits. He's pulling the ball into the Crawford boxes, or he's hitting opposite field home runs, even center field home runs. He's looking like an all-star, looking like a future Hall of Fame catcher. And he does that for several weeks. And then suddenly he goes right back to swinging at balls in the dirt, chasing everything, striking out all the time, can't hit crap. Batting average drops way down to like 220 from 300. And it's like, what are you doing? The Astros as a team are no different than that, you know? It happens. It's baseball. Fred, you're right. You're absolutely right. Maybe with the Astros getting the injuries out of the way, so to speak, is the opposite of what will happen. What will happen for sure. There will be a lot of teams, absolutely for sure, that will have the opposite experience. Right now they're healthy, and they're coming on, and then those guys are going to start burning out. Their arms are going to start getting injured. They're going to have guys go for Tommy John surgery. They're going to have pulled hamstrings. They're going to have all those things happen right before the playoffs. And guess who's going to be pretty healthy? The Astros. But here's the other cool thing. The Astros have the opportunity not only to really see what they're made of inside and to dig down deep and improve, but on top of that, they actually have another thing going for them right now. Look at all the experience they're giving to their new guys. You know what I'm saying? How many other teams have this opportunity right now to pull up all of their minor leaguers and shove them into the game? I mean, dude, look at the lineup that we had today. Look at the lineup that we had every single game for the past, I don't know how many weeks. If we go back and we look at the lineup for today, look at this. Where is it? Okay, over here on the right side. Let me try to move that over so you guys can see it. Right there. Okay. Taylor Trammell came back and joined the Astros from the minors earlier this year. He was our leadoff guy today. Now, he's batting .268. He hasn't had a huge amount of at-bats, but he is batting .268. But when he first came here, he was just striking out like crap, like crazy, looking like crap. And he does still strike out a little bit. If you look at it, he struck out swinging, struck out looking, and struck out swinging at the end. But he did get a double, and he has been making contact, and he's been doing better. But he's a new guy. Walker, we just signed him this year, but Singleton was re-signed with the Astros farm system. We called him up recently, put him in. McCormick just came back from rehab from the minors. He was in today. Cam Smith is a rookie. He's been in full time for the Astros for a while now. Hummel, I don't know what to say about Hummel. Let's just skip over him. Dubon, of course, is a veteran. And he has been so expendable. We just move him all over the place. Wherever we need him, we put him there. Zach Short is a minor leaguer. So either rookies or minor leaguers, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a couple of guys that just came back from rehab not too long ago that were in the minors. And then a couple of new guys. I mean, we didn't have Walker until the beginning of the year. We didn't have Hummel. I mean, this lineup, think about how different this looks compared to last year. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, the Dodgers have lost 45. Yeah, they look like they were just going to destroy everybody. And then they just started having trouble. The Yankees put Judge on a 10-day injured list. Wow. Yeah, you're right. It does happen. And I know that people complain about Yordan a lot, but Judge is also prone to getting injured. He's not immune. These big guys, they have some trouble. They have a little trouble with the injuries, so you got to take care of those big dudes. Maybe they need more vitamin D3. Get them out in the sun a little more. Give them some supplements. But I will say this, the Astros pitching today was looking so much better until Okert came in. The relief pitching, we had 3 solid innings. Look at that. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Contreras, 2 innings pitched. Caleb Ort looking solid. And then Okert came in. I swear, I feel like when Okert does well, Ort doesn't. When Ort does well, Okert doesn't. Can't have both. Can't have your okra and eat it too. You can't have your Okert and eat it too. You got to pick. Choose one or the other. What a day. I guess that's enough for now. It's about 20 minutes to 7 in the morning here. I need to make myself something yummy to eat and then take a rest. I need to get some more sleep. But I appreciate you guys being here. Love you all, and I will see you tomorrow for Game 1 versus the Nats. I hope you have an excellent morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. Until tomorrow, all I have to say is, Go Stros. Let's do it tomorrow. Dr. D, you have a good one too. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Seth, for coming in. Thank you, Fred, Crispy, Daryl, Casey, all of you, Chris, everybody. If I missed you, I'm thinking about you too. Until tomorrow.